both of you have had a week to get prepared, and you aren't. Here we show up on time, because I'm always on time. Vee's like, hold on, I'm gonna make tea. Dev is like, yes, excuse me a moment, I need to take another enormous shit. Dev, you shit like 5 times on average each stream, and I know you can hear me. Have you considered maybe having a doctor take a peek up there or something? Because clearly something is terribly, terribly wrong with the plumbing. I'm just saying. Right, anyways, hello chat. We have discussed Dev's colon, and that's probably going to be a recurring topic in today's video, not that I've discovered that, yes, indeed, this is a vector of attack against Dev. But besides Dev's asshole...
It's on the clock. Look, I am on time.
Tea, apparently. You're 1 minute late at this point.
I am like a Japanese fucking train, Arch. I have been exactly on time, and now it's 1 minute too late.
Except for yesterday. Last time.
Dev is trying to. Time? I think I was on time even last. Oh yeah. I was streaming and I forgot. Yeah. But I closed the stream and came immediately.
Well, you coming immediately is probably a bad combination, but other than that. Somebody else is coming too, V.
Who?
Every single person who wants to see Ray dead.
I'm not familiar with that though.
I think she's gonna die. I think she's gonna die. I hope she's gonna die. So there's been a little bit of movement in the Star Wars sphere. A while ago, they announced that Rey Skywalker, of course, would be getting her own movie. Nobody wanted this. Nobody liked it. Nobody applauded it. Everyone yelled at it. And there was an interesting little tweet that she posted herself, saying that she'd read one script and it didn't go where she expected it to. And it's a bit of a... Well, that's exactly it. It's a bit of loose speculation, but I think since she was only given one script, now why would you give the lead actor that's supposed to be the main character of your new trilogy one script?
Because they're not the lead actor.
With a little bit of luck, Rey Skywalker will be unsubscribed from life the Disney way.
Am I in the wrong? Look, I'm not even boycotting this shit at this point. I genuinely just don't care. Like, even if you were to say, hey V, the new Star Wars movie is coming out, here's a free ticket, I would be like, do I have anything else to do? Have I finished Baldur's Gate? Have I, have I played all the games that I want? It would probably, you would have to force me to watch it. I'm not even kidding. It's not out of spite or anything. It's just apathy at this point.
See, the reason why one should still pay attention to this stuff is because it is very indicative of the general setting of the industry as a whole. Because Star Wars is the big franchise, and Disney bought it for billions, and they managed to run it into the ground even faster. But it is a moneymaker, at least in theory. So if Disney starts turning things around here, it will be a very strong indication they're finally going to start turning things around everywhere else. It's probably too late for Star Wars, just in general, although it probably still has a large enough fan base to the point where a good Star Wars would still probably result in sales, probably.
I have a question. Which is more popular at this point, and more profitable, Star Wars or My Hero Academia?
Probably Star Wars, and by quite some extent.
If we're not looking at the toys and the merch, though.
Still Star Wars.
You say?
Yes.
Give it time.
Like My Hero Academia has been a decent success, but the movies have not been particularly large successes, and the anime series itself, it's on like 5 seasons now or something.
Mm-hmm.
It too is beginning definitely to start to shed some of the enthusiasm.
What about Naruto?
Naruto, who knows? Naruto is a very large merchandising platform, though.
Yeah. Like the thing is, Star Wars used to be the 3-star Michelin dish. It's like, oh my god, Star Wars was coming, right? You go to your school, everyone's talking about Star Wars, all your friends are talking about Star Wars, everyone is memeing and discussing it. Now it's McDonald's food. Now it's like, oh, there's another TV show in the Star Wars universe that is bland as fuck.
Let's see. From what I just found real quick, Naruto's earnings, and I don't know exactly where this is from, mind you, but it's got manga volume, slice of merchandise, video games, and box office, home entertainment. So it's definitely with some of the movies, etc. Is estimated at 10.3 billion.
Jesus.
Heresy's the question. Fire is the answer.
I think Star Wars may be more popular just because it has amusement parks and shit.
Oh, by a very, 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 very great margin. Let's see. Force Awakens, Rogue One, Last Jedi, and all that nonsense was something along the lines of 5 billion. And then you have the total value of the brand, which is estimated at about 30 billion. So Naruto's getting there, but it's still there's still some distance left to go.
Yeah, but isn't it like shameful?
Heresy's the question. Fire
it's fucking
is the
Star
answer.
Wars. I mean,
well, it was Star Wars. I don't know if Disney Wars gets quite the same title. That probably is the reason why we call it Disney Wars. But I do think there's an opportunity here to turn something a little bit around, because the Star Wars universe is still there. I'm still interested in seeing them do cool things with the Star Wars universe. I just want them to actually make it Star Wars. And there was another interview with Kathleen Kennedy, the mother of all evil, and the woman who is forever fired and yet never actually seems to leave her job.
didn't what's his name? The Doomcock. Didn't he say that he was fired? He had inside rumors, and take it with a grain of salt. But
if I had a cent for every time a YouTube video was made about the rumor of Kathleen Kennedy being fired, I would be worth more than Star Wars. But they've given Dave Filoni now full creative control over the entire thing, which is an interesting move. Filoni is, to me, he's the Michael Bay of Star Wars. He somehow manages to make stuff that I consider to be absolute schlock, and yet apparently sells and becomes reasonably popular. So,
do you think the new movie is going to be good, though?
Well, so what they mentioned is that Rey's going to be rebuilding the Jedi Order, because we knew this for a while now, that she was going to take over Luke's entire legacy. Right?
You already bored me. Like I'm already bored. Like it's very difficult to get me interested from now. Like after you just said that, now you have to work in order to get me to the level where other movies have me from the beginning. You know?
Well, you could always watch, Secret Invasion by Marvel if you so choose.
I would probably be less bored about that.
You could watch Napoleon.
Because... Is Napoleon the one with the black guy?
The black guy. No, there's surprisingly few people in Napoleon. Black people. There's surprisingly few people too, incidentally.
Oh no! There was an article. Yeah. There was an article livid that they didn't race swap Napoleon.
Wow. Now that is tragic, but still.
It is tragic. Yes.
Is there an article? Also, hi guys, I'm here. Is there an article for that, V?
How long does it take for it to take a shit, man? It's not normal. Like, are you constipated?
It was
on
a long
average
time.
8 minutes.
So hold on, V. Can you send me that article? I'm kind of curious. I want to see it.
Oh God, I don't have it at hand. I'll have to look for it. It's from an obscure publication anyway.
Source, I made it the fuck up.
Yeah.
No. That is. I remember like talking about it in a live stream.
But what's interesting
I'll send you a DM so you remember. Okay, so Arch, I was listening this whole time. I was on the toilet because I have the wireless headphones, right?
I'm aware.
So here's one thing I noticed regarding Kathleen Kennedy, right? There's this narrative about Kathleen Kennedy that she's, this woke outsider that was brought in and she ruined Star Wars, right? I watched the original Indiana Jones films from back in the 1980s, and she was credited as like a junior producer on those films. So like she's actually been with the Lucasfilm situation, like almost since the beginning. All right, like she was somebody that like George Lucas kind of took under his wing, and it's not conclusive evidence, but there's some evidence that George Lucas sold his company to Disney because he wanted to get a big fat stack of cash, but he understood that he was close with Kathleen Kennedy, so she would make sure that things were kept in line. And in fact, it's actually somebody else at Disney that fucked it up.
No, like we know that this is the case. That like what you said is true, but she just didn't do what she was asked to do.
She just backstabbed George Lucas, basically.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily like backstabbing. She just did her vision.
Yeah, maybe
it's kind of like when you run a World of Warcraft guild, right? And you go on a vacation and you put like one of the officers you trust, and he actually raised the guild bank and fucks off. It's kind of like that.
Heresy's the question.
Makes sense.
Fire is the answer.
Well, there's also the fact that people give George Lucas a lot more credit than he deserves. And George Lucas was an absolute retard and had to be kept in check the majority of the time. If you let George Lucas free, you get the Ewoks. That's what you get with George Lucas. You get Jar Jar Binks. That's George Lucas. I wouldn't be surprised if Kathleen Kennedy actually held fairly close to George Lucas's vision overall.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, didn't Lucas direct episode 4 and 6, but not episode 5, which is why episode 5 was so much better?
I don't remember.
Oh, let me see. Okay. I'm going to quickly look this up. Because I know, like, he directed the first, but when he directed the first one, it was 1977, and he was, this young creator who had been, like, relatively untested. And he was, it seemed like the constraints that was put on him kind of made it into a good movie, right?
In large
The
part,
original.
yes. And the crew around him.
Yeah. Directed by George Lucas, produced by Gary. Okay. Let's see. The next one. I'm just going to quickly check it out. Yeah, it was directed by Irvin Kershner. George Lucas wrote it, but he didn't direct it. And Empire is considered the best one. And so if we go to... just to satisfy my curiosity. Oh, no. He did not direct Return of the Jedi. A third guy did. But yeah, there was like the slow descent of George Lucas, like after basically he got rich, and then his films kind of started going to shit. Yeah.
In large parts, yeah. Again, like, I don't think Kathleen Kennedy is solely to blame for this. Even if Kathleen Kennedy was to be fired, I don't think anything would necessarily be fixed overnight at Disney. This is a longer-term series of agendas. Though the first step to beginning to fix Disney would be to unlife Rey and make her the sacrifice instead. Because killing off Luke was an enormous mistake, and they did so to try and make Luke the sacrifice.
The thing is, you can actually keep Rey if you write her properly and give her, like
No,
an
you
actual
can't.
feminine look. Yeah, you put some big tits on her, a plump ass. They're not actual ass doubles.
Yeah,
for this. Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. They could have done the basic story of the sequel trilogy. They could have done it okay. They just needed way better writers. They didn't have them.
Like for instance, the actress doesn't look so bad. Like I have seen her on the red carpet. Okay, she does look like a woman, despite the androgyny that was presented in Star Wars. You give her a plump ass, some big booba, and you're going to already have like a 25% increase in the male demographic. Right? And then you actually write a compelling story, make her fucking wholesome, right? Like make her have like some sort of personality and some ambition, and it's fine. But they're not going to do that.
No, you can't. Not at this point. Initially,
They don't necessarily-
like, if you're imagining a separate universe where they made a good character, probably. Now you cannot, there is no remaking Rey into a character that anyone will like.
Yeah.
Do a vote in the chat, okay? But I want chat to imagine that Rey's like from an actual, like hentai game. Like she actually has booba. She actually has ass. She's like Black Widow from Avengers. Would you go see that?
Hold on, V. But, like small girls can look good too. They don't have to just have giant asses and giant tits.
Yes, they do.
There we go. We have
Because here's the thing.
V's
You can
vision of
do-
a big-titted woman.
You can do like a tomboy Ray who's in shape and like doesn't have a giant chest, and like that can still be appealing too. She needed to be not
Stop
what she is.
projecting your deviant tastes on the chat there.
How is this fucking deviant?
Big tits, uber alles, Dev.
Hold on. You went to war over the tomboy abs thing, V.
Yes, but the tomboy abs thing had big tits. You can be a tomboy and have milkers, Dev.
Heresy's the
They
question.
generally don't go hand in
Fire
hand.
is
If you have
the
abs,
answer.
generally your body fat percentage is low enough that your tits are smaller.
We're talking about fiction, Dev. Movies, fiction, not
We're talking
real.
okay. We're talking about real actresses who have to play the part.
Yes, it's called special effects, Dev. What the fuck?
So wait, you want to specifically special effects of bigger tits?
Yes, they actually do that. They did that with what's her name, like Captain Marvel. I'm not fucking kidding. Like they had an actress with an ass in order to like make Captain Marvel not look flato.
Okay.
You did not know this?
Okay, sure.
Like, this is commonly done. Like this is normal tactic in Bollywood,
So,
actually.
here's the thing.
Like,
Like,
yeah.
I like big tits. I also like small tits. You know, it's all fine. It's all good.
I mean, I understand you have low standards, but please do not try to lower mine.
Okay, V, you cannot possibly think that just bigger booba is better, and that's the only
But
dimension.
no.
regulations on.
Like it's also the consistency, the shape. I mean, there's multiple standards, but yes, bigger is better than small. Of course, now there is like a size which is like comically big, and that's not okay. But like definitely having breasts over not having breasts is better.
Yeah, okay, sure.
I mean, I'm not going to take your bio-Leninist shit, Dev. Not on this stream.
Bio-Leninist? This
Yes,
isn't
it's a
bio-Leninism,
bio-Leninist
V.
shit. Yes, it is.
Listen,
It is
it's
bio-Leninism.
It's simply that I've actually had sex with Asian girls.
Look, the
And I
ugly,
can-
the
I can
ugly.
appreciate the small chests.
Look, Dev. Let me tell you how it works. Right? It's not the proletariat versus the bourgeoisie. It's not even like whites versus minorities. It is simply ugly people that are frustrated and they do Marxism. Okay? And
No, I understand that point. I understand what bilateralism is. What I'm saying is, you can have very attractive women with smaller tits, V.
Again, you can lower your standards if you want, Dev. Yes, it is
This
possible.
isn't lowered standards. Arch, you gotta chime in here.
You're both retarded. There you go. I chimed
the chat
in.
agrees with me, so
There is no redeeming Rey. I don't care if you special effect her both her ass and her tits. The character is gonzo. And the only way that Star Wars can conceivably get anything out of her is as a body.
Maybe.
I will try to find the meme which got an artist in trouble, and if I show you that and you show it to the chat, everyone is going to say, yeah, I will go see this movie.
See, I have a very, very simple counter-argument to your argument.
Mm-hmm.
Amber Heard.
So here's the thing regarding Star Wars, right?
The question. Fire is the answer.
In my opinion, at this point, the absolute best thing they can do is to just apologize and decanonize all the shit and start over. Like, it would suck, but they should do it.
Arch, I would like you to show this to the chat and then tell me if people would go see the thing or not.
Novi. You know why? Because that is a fucking 200 pixels fucking photograph. It's not even a thumbnail.
Hold on, I'll find it better again. The artist actually got harassed off of Twitter for having it. Yeah, like for drawing it.
No, yeah, I've seen this. I remember the controversy, actually. She drew Big Boobed Ray. She drew Big Boobed Ray and then got harassed by,
I have lost.
By the
yeah, and the artist is a woman as well. Like, that's why it's hilarious. Right, so show that to the chat. And chat, tell me unironically that you wouldn't go see the movie if they made Ray look like that.
Here's the thing. Yeah, there's another simple argument here. What you have given is a drawing. Ray does not look like this. Ray cannot look like this. At no point will Ray look like this. All the CGI in the world will not achieve this. What you're saying is we should just make anime Star Wars, which I agree on, incidentally.
Look,
hold on a second.
Look, if you can make a man look like Darth Maul, you can make a woman look like that, Arch.
Okay, just wait. I'm gonna. Here's the thing. Here's the situation, V. Arch, you can pull this up if you don't mind. Okay. This, it looks like ridiculous.
Retarded? Yes.
Yeah, but it's the clothing. Like you need to dress in a way which
The hentai has rotted your brain. You don't understand what a woman with those kind of tits would look like.
I'm willing to bet if you put a skin suit on her, it will look better. If you dress her like Black Widow from Marvel, it will look better.
She would still look retarded, V.
I disagree. I think you two people are not cultured enough. I think that you do not have tastes. And I am glad that you are not in charge of fashion. There's much better, yeah. And you can make them a little bit smaller, like too big is a thing. Yeah, that's I do like that. Yes, I would go see the new Star Wars if she looked like that. Yes.
I will also point out that we do indeed have anime Star Wars, but it's not going to be that. It's going to be LOP. It's going to be furry food. That's what's going to happen.
Why?
Because this
Here's
is
the
the
thing,
future of Star Wars right here.
I don't even hate girls with huge tits, obviously. It's just that I also just I think that you can have attractive women with small breasts. That's all.
You're pretty much like the woman
Heresy's
that
the
says,
question.
I
Fire
don't
is
hate
the answer."
multi-billionaires chads that go to the gym and look like Christian Grey. All I'm saying is you can have the loser living in the mother's basement as well.
Are you? No, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's literally
God
what
damn
I'm
it.
saying. You're lowering the standards, Dev. You're lowering the
No,
standards.
it's not lowering the standards.
Yeah, you are.
Okay,
A woman?
listen.
Okay, go on.
You know,
listening.
Gal Gadot, she's really hot, right?
Yeah.
She has small
Jewish
boobs.
lady.
Yeah, she has small boobs. Like, V, I'm giving you a picture of Gal Gadot. Look at this.
But she didn't have small boobs in Wonder Woman, right?
Small boobs. Look at those boobs. They're small, and she's
I
still
have
really
lost.
cute. Like, what are you talking about?
Let me see. Hold on. Oh my gosh, she lied to me. In Wonder Woman, she didn't have small boobs. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Like, I would not date Gal Gadot. It would be a lowering of my standards. Like, there are
Wait,
other
hold on.
women that look like
Even
Gal
in
Gadot.
Wonder, no, here's her in Wonder Woman.
Let's see.
They're not big. They're just like average sized.
Yeah, but they're average size. They're not small. We're
It
talking about like
seems-
Flato.
It seems as if V has been defeated in verbal battle yet
No,
again.
all that. We were talking about small, and now he's moving the goalpost to average size. Average size is not small, Dev.
Hold on. Are you saying then, V, this woman is not attractive, like at all? There's nothing
Yes.
there.
Yes,
That's
like they're not
ridiculous,
like if we're talking hypothetical, all right. First of all, have you seen my wife? Secondly, if we're talking hypothetical and you can choose like any woman, right? Because you're not going to get Gal Gadot, so shut the fuck up. But if you can actually
I know
like,
what you
choose
mean, yeah.
any woman, why would you not say that one that looks like Gal Gadot and has bigger boobs is not better than someone that's flato?
Well, because it really depends on like the body type and other things go on. Like sometimes big boobs just don't work with the person. Like sometimes
Are you into
sometimes-
lolly, Dev? Like, do you like Gargura?
no.
Do you
So-
like Gargura?
sorry.
You're not
Who?
watching Gargura, Dev?
What's not what that is?
I
Sorry.
have
You
lost.
don't know what the Gargura is?
Oh, Gargura. Oh no, I know what that is. No, not interested. No.
Not interested.
Yeah.
I don't
However,
know,
if
'cause,
you
like,
look
when
at
you're- when you're
hold on.
into flato, it gets into dangerous territory.
Okay,
I start
shut
asking
up,
questions.
both of you. You are useless. You are actually worthless in every single regard. V, your brain has been rotted by hentai. You have no idea what is going to work in movies anymore. Bad V. And Dev, you're
Yeah.
retarded for humoring him.
Okay, fair enough. I will quickly say though, like you look at a
He
character like
can't help himself,
Nagatoro.
March. He can't help
Hold
himself.
on. V Nagatoro, I think is an
Mhm.
attractive character.
No, she's got like some of her girlfriends that are more attractive. Like the one that
Service
has like the
guarantees
face like a
citizenship.
cat. That one's cute.
Okay, sure, but like the point is that like her small chest fits with her personality and her body type. So yes, you can have good-looking women that have small chests.
No, you can't, Dev. I'm sorry. Look, Arch, just move the conversation along.
Very simply, they just need to kill Ray. That's it.
I guess this is not even
It's
about
that
booze. This is
easy.
about Star Wars.
It's that fucking easy. They just need to kill Rey. I don't know why you want to try and redeem Rey. I have no idea.
This is like
Yeah,
already
it's-
there.
Rey
you know,
needs
like
to
the toys, like-
die. And specifically, Rey needs to die to bring up the new generation. Simple as. She's going to be the sacrificial goat to bring somebody else along.
Are you
Well, hold
saying
on.
the old has to die for the new?
Correct, because the old is garbage.
So here's the thing, Arch. Honestly, I don't think there's anything that can save Rey, even including that. I would just prefer that they decanonize all the nonsense they've made. It's not going to happen, but it's what they should do. They should be like, listen, we're sorry. We fucked almost everything up. Out of all the movies and shows, there might be like, one season of The Mandalorian or something that's worth saving. But for the most part, it's almost all like Andor was okay. Like for the most part, it's all garbage though. We're sorry. We fucked everything up. Let's just restart. Just remake episode 7, do it better, different
Here's
actors,
the
different
question.
writers.
Fire
Like
is the answer.
everything is, they fucked things up so badly now that Star Wars is basically irreparable without just wiping the slate.
Well, see, there's the thing. They can do both. They can unironically do both. Because I'm presuming you've seen Star Wars The Vision series.
The anime one, right?
Yes, the anime
I
ones.
didn't finish it. No.
Visions they've done 2 seasons of them now. The first was significantly better than the second one. And it's basically it's Disney putting out a hiring ad, in essence, going like, okay, can anybody else do this shit? Could we just give this to somebody else and let them make Star Wars? And the answer seems to be a resounding yes. In fact, there seems to be Japanese studios that could probably do a hell of a lot better Star Wars than Disney has. So it'd be very easy for Disney to just hand this over to somebody else to make something that people would actually like to watch, and they could then instead try to see what they could do about rescuing Star Wars. Because there is absolutely a reset button that can be hit here. Like, you still have time, so to say. Like, you could still kill off Rey and have her sacrifice be, if not good or glorious, then at the very least mean something. He could be used to give weight to another character.
Your pathological desire of bloodthirst towards Rey is becoming bizarre. Like, you need to kill Rey. Rey must die.
Because she cannot be redeemed. There is no redemption path for Rey. It does not exist.
But at the same time, though, like, you already have the toys. Like, you would have to create an entire new line of merchandise. Like, just new toys for the new character.
Yes, which Disney does regardless.
Yeah, but then you don't sell the old ones.
Only way ahead for Star Wars is to kill Star Wars. Now, they could try to decanonize it into the entirety of it and start over again. And that's a possibility, but it would ruin too much of their reputation. It would be too much of an L. Not to mention, it would be a massive reset of all of their actual investments. And they still wouldn't know if anybody would actually go back to it. Because, remember, they tried to do Han Solo, the movie.
Yeah, but I think, like, the Han Solo, the movie, wasn't popular because the last episode of Star Wars was shit. So usually when you have a franchise, the sales on the current thing are affected by the previous thing. So, like, the new GTA, even if it's absolute garbage, it will still sell.
Of course.
Because people remember GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah. So, yeah, it actually kind of makes sense to me, because if you look at it, episode 7 came out, and episode 7 was like, okay. That was the first of the sequel trilogy.
It was okay. It was a ripoff. Like, I remember people complaining. It's like they ripped off Star Wars, the previous.
But you know what?
Yeah.
I actually kind of liked it. All right. I said, you know what? If you're gonna make, let me explain. So if you're gonna make the first of your new trilogy an homage to the original, that's fine. You can do that. You can, like, we'll refresh the audience with some pieces of the old, sprinkle them with some new characters, and that can be the launching platform for a decent trilogy. The issue is that parts 2 and 3 of that trilogy were complete fucking dog shit, right? That could have been, if they left episode 7 as is and made a good episode 8 and a good episode 9, it could actually be a decent trilogy. And because episode 7 was, it was okay. Rogue One, which was the next one that came out, that was kind of that got a bump. People seemed to really like and enjoy Rogue One, right? Then episode 8 was complete garbage, and after that was Han Solo. And you're right about that, V. It's like the success of the previous one, or the quality of the previous one, determines the success of the next one. However, I think Disney took the wrong lesson from the failure of the Han Solo one, because it seems like Disney took the lesson. Okay, we can't recast any of the old cast, because they tried to do it with Lando. They tried to do it with Han Solo. They got new actors who kind of looked like them, and they're like, listen, all right, Han Solo failed. What should we learn from this? Don't recast the originals. It's like, no, you idiots, you can recast the originals. You just can't make a bad movie, right? But I don't know if did you guys see the horrendous Luke Skywalker CG from The Mandalorian?
The one where he rescues Mando at the end of like season 2 or something.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay, I'm gonna show you something real quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna show you something real quick. Mandalorian. Where's the fucking? Oh my god! I just had it up for my stream. Where did it go? Okay, I got it.
Why is he like this, Arch? Why is he never prepared?
Sorry, I didn't. We're talking about this. Here, check this out, Arch. So, this is the guy that they got to play the body double of Luke Skywalker, right? And then they CG'd his face onto that body double, and it just looks kind of strange. Like if you look at the CG from Mando season 3, I'll send you a picture of that too, Arch. It just looks very strange, and I'm just thinking, like, you got a guy who actually looks a fair amount like Mark Hamill did back in the day. Why not just recast him? Just recast him. You have the guy.
Maybe he doesn't know how to act.
Well, the issue actually is that Disney does not want to recast any of the original trilogy characters anymore because of the failure of Han Solo.
Well,
and honestly, it's making Star Wars worse, I think, because now we have like all these weird deep fakes that don't really mesh with anything. We have like, oh man, they started using a James Earl Jones AI voice for Darth Vader appearances because they don't want to recast Darth Vader. And I'm like, what are you fucking doing? Like, just okay. Disney has already hired the Chad Vader guy. You know who he is? You guys remember Chad Vader?
No.
Nope.
Okay. 2006, one of the first ever internet like series, like TV shows, called Chad Vader Day Shift Manager. It was a comedy series about what if a guy in a Darth Vader suit was the day shift manager at a grocery store. And it went for like 5 seasons. It was really popular, really funny, one of the first ever YouTube shows. Chad Vader. He did the Darth Vader voice so well. After Chad Vader was over, Disney hired him. And they hired him to do like side appearances. So he did like Darth Vader's Soul Calibur voice. He did the voice in Lego Star Wars. He did the voice in like Star Wars Battlefront 2, right? So they have this guy who can actually do a really good Darth Vader voice, but they won't put him in any main shows or movies. Shit. They're just AIing James Earl Jones's voice because I think they're just scared of moving on from the originals.
Well, here's the thing. I disagree. Because there's a little bit of a deeper thing that's going on here. A lot of people memory hole the fact that a majority of the online content creators, myself to a degree included, actually quite liked The Force Awakens. There was a lot wrong with The Force Awakens, a hell of a lot wrong, particularly the retardations of the First Order, the new dumbass Death Star, the fact that they essentially just remade the first movies. A lot of this was critique-worthy, but as you said, as an homage, it was largely accepted. These days, of course, nobody remembers this, as it tends to be the case, and Rogue One was viewed as a genuine breath of fresh air, in that you had a new cast of characters that didn't need to stick around for all eternity. You could tell a simple, self-contained story. People quite liked that as well. But Disney then moved on to try and introduce their own set of characters, because they eventually realized that the toy sales just weren't there. They needed iconic, but they couldn't have all iconic. Probably because their ownership of a lot of this is a little bit dubious, and because their ownership is of the likeness of actual people. And recasting them will be very, very difficult because nobody's gonna like it. Like, unless you get somebody who just blows everyone out of the water with their portrayal of Luke Skywalker or Han Solo, it is going to be almost impossible to get the audience to accept a new Skywalker or a new Solo. Especially today. In fact, even if you get a great actor, you'd probably still get shat on automatically because, as V said, it'll be following on from disaster. It'll be reinforcing failure.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, if they didn't have those early failures, they could do it at this point, I think.
But
They
it's
could
another
actually,
thing, you
they
know,
could
like
recast someone, I think.
it's the fucking Star Wars universe. Like, why do you constantly have to tell the story about the same fucking people?
Because it's popular.
Yeah, but like you can make something. Look, anime, right? It does new shit and it becomes popular. You don't have to make the same fucking story with like the Skywalkers over and over and over. Like, there's so much milk you can get off of that cow.
So here's the thing, V. They did that with Andor, and Andor was actually like a half decent show. They had like a little, they had like a heist story where they're gonna rob like a vault. They did like a jailbreak story where they're trapped inside of a prison. Like there was, I think, like 3 or 4 different arcs throughout Andor that were all very interesting, and there was no Jedi. There was like no Jedi at all in Andor, and it's like, oh, we're actually exploring a completely different part of the Star Wars universe now, and we're telling different stories, and it's actually kind of fun.
Which is a marked improvement. Less Jedi, good. And the thing is, you are probably going to need to create new characters, but this is exactly why Rey needs to die. Because Rey is an established character that is shit. You need to create a brand new crop. And the best way to do that, safely, is probably to do The Force Awakens. Again, reset everything to 0 and essentially begin from scratch. Now, personally, I would prefer it if they'd actually do it... Okay, so I'm presuming you've all seen that brilliant Star Wars short film, right? The animated one.
No, I haven't actually. This is news to me.
You haven't seen this? Okay. Just for anyone in the audience then, too, this is a fan-made product. It might give me copyright claim, but fuck, these streams never get monetized anyways. So this was a animation project that went over years and years. I think it took him like 5 or 6 years to produce this. This was created by a single dude. And it's Star Wars in the style of, like, old school anime, like 70s, 80s anime. And it looks absolutely incredibly brilliant. To the point where people were asking, like, why the hell isn't this something being made? Because we don't really need the Jedi. The Jedi have been undermined to the point now where they themselves are actually probably a negative attribute to the story. Because they have no rules anymore. Like, the Jedi can be incredibly powerful, they can be incredibly weak, they can have Force Ghosts whenever, wherever, they can have all of these powers, they can use Force Lightning even on their good side, blah, blah, blah. You've reduced what used to be mystical space wizards to just stupid dudes in robes. But you could easily do, like Andor, I actually think it was kind of an ass show myself, but you're better off in that direction. Fuck, make a show focusing on the goddamn Empire. Completely flip this ship on its head entirely. Fuck the rebels. Nobody cares about the rebels. The rebels are overdone. Not to mention the fact that they've been the rebels even after winning the goddamn war. They're still the rebels. Screw the rebels. Show us the Empire. Do fucking Band of Brothers with stormtroopers. I'd watch the shit out of that.
So here's the thing. You didn't like Andor, Arch.
Mostly because I loved the world building in Andor. I thought the world building was actually quite excellent. I liked the way they did the prison. I liked the way they were thinking about it, all of that, the way it worked, etc. The world building was really, really excellent. I just hated every moment Andor was on screen.
I mean, fair enough. The thing is that because you know that Andor is going to die in Rogue One, he's kind of hard to really get attached to. Like, you already know where his character ends up. Like, he can't die in the prison, right?
Yes.
He can't die, like, because you know where he's going to go.
Yes, so there's not a whole lot of stakes.
Yeah,
but that's the problem with all the prequels.
Yeah, that is the problem with all the prequels, yeah.
The thing is, good writing can get around that.
I don't know, like Breaking Bad, for instance, right? Like when you have in the last season, you have Lalo coming in, and you have Kim and Saul in the same room, and it's like, okay, well, Lalo, sorry, it's like Saul isn't going to die, right? Like there's nothing that can happen to him that puts him in any danger. It's the same thing with Gus. It's like you know that Gustavo Fring is not going to get killed because he's in the sequel, so on and so forth.
But that's exactly why you would be far better off actually going the Rogue One route and making normies, and even better, bad guy normies. Because you could kill them. You could make really good characters out of them, you could make them popular, and you could even kill them off at the right times to make the series even more popular, as Game of Thrones thoroughly proved.
Yes.
Yep. So when it comes to the Star Wars Andor, if you actually discount Andor, Arch, all of the stuff with the Imperial bureaucracy I actually found really interesting.
Yep.
Because there's all like the politics and the backstabbing and like the ruthlessness and like they're torturing people and shit. Like it was a very good depiction of a stereotypical bureaucratic evil regime, and they did it very well.
Yeah, no, I love the world building. The world building was excellent. Again, I just wish Andor wasn't there. Seriously, I would actually prefer a Star Wars story about goddamn bureaucracy to one about their heroes.
Well, there's always Andor season 2. It's coming.
What about like an alien force invading the galaxy?
Heresy's the question.
Oh, you mean the
Fire is the
Uzang Bong?
There was Bong.
Yeah, those guys.
I mean,
oh god. So I don't know if you remember this, but even in the original extended universe, they tried to rewrite Palpatine as a good guy because they claimed that he tried to take over everything because the Republic was not taking.
He wasn't good. He was like
seriously.
morally ambiguous, but
yes.
yeah.
They were trying to give him a reason for what he was doing.
Yeah, it's good. I don't mind.
Maybe.
It's like,
Because that was the greater threat, the Uzang Bong. And I actually quite like that idea of the story there. I know it's Uzang Bong, by the way. Kill them Bong, because they're dumb. Mm-hmm. And they violate all the rules of the Star Wars universe, and they're a terrible alien invader in almost every single way, but it adds moral depth to the universe, which I don't mind at all. Like, we should probably go back to that.
Shit.
I mean, hell, we've already arrived at somehow Palpatine returns, so why the fuck not?
Somehow.
I remember like watching that, you watch the trailers and it's like, oh god, they're bringing Palpatine. And I'm curious, it's like, how are they going to do it? And you're sitting in the cinema and you're wondering, like, all right, so let's see what they do. And literally in the beginning credit, it's like whispers that somehow Palpatine has returned. I'm like, what the fuck?
Somehow Palpatine returned. Like, okay.
So here's the thing. I haven't seen Ahsoka yet. Hey, Arch, I know that you watch it. Is it any good?
No. Ahsoka is not very good. It's a quintessential female TV show, which means there's a frightening amount of pointless talking and nothing actually gets done.
Because
it's a telenovela, isn't it?
Flamenco's in the chat, and he mentions Thrawn. Yeah, Thrawn was in.
Oh yes, that was Ahsoka's by far greatest achievement, absolutely ruining Thrawn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fuck.
Like, just as I had planned, my forces have been wiped out by the Jedi. Good. Fucking Thrawn. He actually does that, by the way.
Oh god, that's so I mean, that's so stupid. Considering how good of a villain he was, it's so dumb.
Yeah, no, like Thrawn needs to be built up. Thrawn needs to actually beat the shit out of the heroes. Thrawn needs to come across as a scary motherfucker individual. Obviously, you're going to need the heroes to triumph in the end, blah, blah, blah. But they need to do so only after getting their asses beat again and again to establish Thrawn. Having him be a useless villain from episode 1 sort of kind of massively undermines all of that.
Yep. See, one of the big reasons why I like anime over anything coming from the West right now is because they can actually write pretty decent female characters. You know, you can have a female hero who actually gets her ass kicked and then has to rebound. That actually happens in anime. You'll never see that happen to Rey Skywalker.
You know what?
You'll never see it happen to Captain Marvel. None of these characters.
You know what? Any of these characters don't have the female ones.
What's that?
Sensuality.
Big tits V.
No, sensuality, Dev.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that is?
I do. I was just making fun of the conversation from earlier.
But it doesn't make sense. If I was saying like that, if I say like what none of those have, and you say big tits, I can tell you like a couple of Western characters with big tits. Like that's not a problem. But like I can't tell you a single one with sensuality, Dev.
Okay.
You don't have the wholesome female character either.
See, that's true, because they're all men now, which is a large part of the problem.
Which, by the way, I saw an actress yesterday. I made a video about it. I forgot her name. I think like she played in female Ghostbusters, but she's basically saying that, well, I don't want to play female characters anymore. I will read the script and I will say, can I play the male lead? And I'm thinking, like, if you make a male lead or a female lead, which is, like, interchangeable, right? Like, if you're making it so that Will Smith can play Anne Frank, I think you're making a shit movie. Like, if your character is like a glove that literally anyone can slip into, then it's not really a good character, now is it?
Yeah,
it's not.
I agree with that.
And the reality is, like, I do have people that work in the movie-making industry.
That work.
And they do tell me that the way the scripts are written, like for example, the Powerpuff Girls script would be like, this is Blossom, and they would give like a short description of her. Any race must be female. This is Blossom. Any race must be female. This is Mojo Jojo's son. He's the villain. Needs to be a straight white man.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, like this is how they're making scripts now. Like, they will write the story and they will leave like the character for whatever thing. And, you know, like, in some cases, sure, like, anyone can play a character. It's fine, I suppose. But when it's, like, either, like a gender thing, like, you can't have a woman playing Blade, right?
Piracy's the question.
I mean, you can,
Fire is
but
the
it's not
answer.
going to fit well. Like, if you have a woman playing Blade, like, she needs to act like a woman. She needs to have sensuality. You know, she needs to have, like, feminine traits. Like an anime chica, basically, like Bayonetta, right? You don't want like if you were to put Blade instead of Bayonetta, and Blade does all the leg splits, and you know he shows his ass a lot. It would look like fucking weird. It would look like the project.
He showed his chest V a few times in that movie. There's definitely some like showing off his chest for sure.
Yeah, but like the way men show off and the way, you know, like the body language of men to be attractive is different than what women do.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, V. I like 95% agree with you. Okay.
Oh my fucking.
I'm completely on board, but there's one exception.
5% disagree with this. How?
Okay, I'll give you here.
How?
It's actually really fun when you have one, like in a sea of traditional female characters, if you have one female character who stands out and acts like a man, and she's like attracted to women, and she's doing like stereotypical masculine things as a lesbian, that can actually be a lot of fun. However,
like, I suppose, yeah, like in the
hold on.
you have like that chick that likes the guns and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. You have like one tomboy girl who like objectifies other girls and likes fighting and likes the guns.
Yes.
That can be a lot of fun. However, you can only do that once in a while. If every single fucking female character is that, it's terrible.
Yeah,
but if you have one character and like a huge cast who's like that, it's actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, there's animes that have that, right? But even then, like, you have, like, someone like Mikasa. Mikasa is the strong female character archetype. But she's feminine. Like, she has sensuality. You can tell that Mikasa is a woman. Like, she has moments of vulnerability. She has emotional issues. You know, she's like an actual person.
She's brain damaged.
So yeah, here, like there's the stereotype of like the alpha male guy, right? He dresses well, he's strong, he's like sitting on a couch with like two girls, one like wrapped around each arm, you know, and like he's in control of the room, right? You can take that character, make it a woman, do the exact same thing, and that can be a really interesting scene. But you can't make every single woman in the show that character, then it's just terrible. You can do it once though. You can do it once.
I agree.
Like, well, actually, you can do it more. I think like Aliens had Ripley, which was like a.
The thing is, the value of it is in that it is an exception. It is something against the rules. The moment you make it the rule, which it is today, you take away all of its value.
Yes, it becomes boring once it's like the the most fun part about rules is bending them and breaking them where appropriate, right? And that's interesting. Once it becomes the rule, you're right, Arch. It's just boring now.
Because V also has a good point in that sensuality no longer
Heresy's the
exists. So
question.
this can bring us on to
Fire
my
is the
next topic
answer.
about Amazon, actually, quite nicely. So, back in the olden days, the prehistoric time, when television was barely invented, we had shows like Xena, Warrior Princess.
Heresy's the question.
Indeed.
Fire is the answer.
And there was one character in there, Callisto, who was Xena's, like, arch enemy. She is the perfect example of a sensual character. And it's not so much the way she dresses in a leather bikini, so there's that as well. But the way she moves, the way she speaks, the way she constantly acts. Like, sensuality is absolutely an acting thing, more so than merely a skimpy outfit.
Yes.
And this is something that just doesn't exist anymore. Like, this has been eradicated for 20 years, probably.
Just to point it out, when people were asking, like, why isn't Captain Marvel smiling? They immediately said, oh my god, it's like, why does she need to smile? And then you have, like, Thor smiling, Iron Man smiling, like, all the
Yes.
male superheroes smile, right? But, like, she doesn't smile because I guess, like, she read Stoicism. She's like an ancient Greek Stoic.
There
it's
are no unsmiling male characters.
No. And the thing is, like, why should she smile? Because you want to look presentable on the fucking
Service
poster of the
guarantees
movie. Like you
citizenship.
want the audience to actually come see it, right? Like, if you're going to be resting bitch face on the poster, that's not a very warm poster for the customer. Like when you go and you talk to the fucking car salesman, Arch, the fucking car salesman smiles at you, but they have to make the emotion of a human smile to be about sexismus. It's like, oh, you want her to smile because it is sexismus. No, it's literally because I want her to sell the fucking movie. I like comic books. I want to watch movies. I don't want to see you tank, but I mean, I can't help you help yourself.
But the thing is, this... We know this has been failing. It's been failing for a very, very long time. And they know this as well. See, I do not buy at all this
Heresy's the
idea that the
question.
companies
Fire
are
is
doing
the
this
answer.
regardless of its earning money. I think the companies still want to earn money. I simply believe that they thought this was going to earn them money. So, I've got a couple little things, which I'll put in here.
I do agree with you, Arch, on that front. I think you had like a lot of old boomers who were told by their new millennial middle management that this is what the kids like nowadays, so do this and you'll make a lot of money. And they're like, okay, because they have no fucking clue what they're doing. And that's how
I kind of find that difficult to believe. Like, all the industry at once, at the same fucking time. And
Yes,
you know, like, you can
just
do this
like
for a
all
couple
the
of
industry
years.
at once at the same fucking time was focusing on hot female characters. This is
Yeah,
the
but that's
trend.
universal, Arch. No, that's universal.
Yeah, all
Like-
of this
like-
is universal. All culture is universal within
V-
like, you got to remember, Hollywood is one fucking town. They all know each other. They all produce the same shit.
Yeah,
So
but
here's
there's
the
the
thing,
video
V,
game
if you-
industry, and you also have, like, the comic book industry, right? Like, it's
Yes,
not just
yes.
Hollywood. That's
Well, no, this
Yeah,
makes
all
sense
living in the
because
same country.
It was the period of time in which millennials were moving out of university and into their first real like career jobs. So like 5-10 years ago, like 10 years ago, and that's when it all started happening because it's my generation and the education we had in university that was very far left. And then as soon as we moved out of the academy, we started pushing this stuff. It's specifically a millennial problem. What's happening right now? Because now the millennials are in their mid-30s and they're kind of established in these middle management positions, and like they're finally starting to receive blowback from what they're doing.
Yeah.
I found Gal Gadot with big boobs, and she looks better, Dev.
And so,
Oh
when
my
Amazon were
fucking
looking
God.
for something to actually push subscribers, which is all Amazon actually cares about, because ESG is no longer paying the bills, they made the decision to shift Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, and Generation 5. Like, Generation 5 is a medium-sized, bet for them. But Rings of Power obviously was an enormous one, costing billions. And what did they shift this for? They shifted it for Culpa
I
Mia.
have lost.
Does either of you have the faintest clue what Culpa Mia is?
It is
Nope.
the sword in blasphemous.
Maybe.
It means my guilt.
But it's not the correct answer.
It is an answer, though, and it's true.
Culpa Mia is a Spanish romantic comedy where a girl moves into an enormous mansion with her mother. Her mother has remarried a rich man, so now she's going to live a privileged life. And the man's son is really handsome, has lots of money, and tends to walk around shirtless.
Sounds based.
It is, because it's simply just femme smut. That's all it is. It's Twilight. It's 50 Shades of Grey. It is exactly what you were championing, V. Like, let's make the character attractive. Well, this is the female variant of that. And this has actually never changed.
Oh my fucking... I hate the fact that it's like what V is championing. Like, I am saying common sense. If I say that if there's 0 degrees outside, water freezes, this is not V's theory. Okay? Like, sex sells. It always has sold.
Well, exactly, but that's the thing.
Yeah.
This has never changed in the female side of things. Never. Like, this has remained the truth throughout female-centric entertainment. And Amazon knows this. Amazon knows that it's going to be the same for our side as well. And now that they actually need to earn money, they're changing over to it. Reacher had a second season announced as well. Reacher is a show that is literally just weaponized house mom pornography, where the main character is an enormous mountain of a man with pecs the size of his head, and he too tends to lose his clothing with frightening frequency, weirdly enough.
I hope that... Well, actually, it's not that I hope. I'm glad that they cast ugly women. Like, can you imagine if you had, like, genuinely beautiful women with big tits telling you that wokeness is amazing?
Heresy.
Like if you had, like, actual, you know, like, anime boof babes, and they're telling you, wait, you know what? There's a problem with white supremacy, and it's like America is systemically racist, and the patriarchy and all that shit. Can you imagine, like, how hard it would be to debunk their arguments, Arch?
So here's the thing, V. There are some like very left-wing VTubers who are already doing that, so we're already getting into that area.
Not to mention, the problem is we can't have that for the very, very simple reason that it goes against their very ideology at the core.
Yeah,
the purity spiral will take care of them very quickly. We don't need to worry about that. But the point is, companies will do what earns them money when they need to earn money. Simple as. Like, once they get desperate enough, all of this shit gets thrown on the dung, and they move back to what they know makes money. And if that is smut for women, then smut for women is what they will produce.
I love
Simple. Like, again, Rings of Power, the $5 billion 5-season pre-ordered TV show, is shoved out of a promotional slot for a half-naked Spanish guy. No further arguments, I guess.
No.
Yep, that's just how it is. It's where we are now.
Citizenship.
Like, if you want arguments, say something controversial. I'm sorry, I just can't argue with facts.
And again, soon, I believe, in the next 4 or 5 years, this is going to be our entertainment too. The first company that realizes that pushing active anti-woke stuff earns money, that is going to be the company that wins the next generation of entertainment.
The thing isn't like they don't realize, right? Because I was talking about this on my stream as well. If I were to make a TikTok account, and I would say the shit like from South Park Season 1, and I would do racismus on the keyboard, I would probably have overnight like 500,000 subscribers easily. But you get banned, right? It's not like people don't realize that being edgy as fuck manages to sell. It's the fact that you're not allowed to be edgy as fuck by your betters, by
yes,
which
is why it's going to be the corporations that do this. It's going to be one of the big players that is going to start this. Like, as I mentioned, the biggest marketing success that could ever have happened in the current day was for Stormfront from the boys to drop the N-bomb in a trailer. It would have covered the globe. Everyone on Earth would have seen that trailer. It would have been the most watched piece of media on the internet.
And
tomorrow.
the funny thing is, if you look at movies from the 90s, even movies in 2000s, they say the N-word all the time. It's like the rap lyrics, right? Like if you drop the N-bomb in a rap lyric now, no one gives a fuck. Unless, I guess it's a white rapper. But did Eminem ever drop it?
No.
I think he did.
No, he did not.
He
did
didn't?
not?
Okay.
No.
Okay. But like my point is, right? If you drop it in a movie, everyone panics. But if you put it in a rap music, it's fine.
Well, yes, because that's the culture of it. But again, because Stormfront's like actually a Nazi. A literal, actual, genuine Nazi from the Second World War Nazi, okay?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And even she does not dare touch the end.
Man, it's one of those things. Oh, fuck. I've seen this take a few times on social media where like you have a villain, right? And it's like, "Oh, you're killing people, you're like burning down villages, you're murdering people, but you can't be transphobic. That's too far
Yeah.
even for
Oh,
a
the
villain."
far.
best example
what
is
the
exactly
fuck?
Dev. Like what you're saying. The Last of Us 2. I remember there's like this plot point where they have like this trans kid and he's running away from his people which are trying to murder him, but they do their best not to misgender the trans person. Like they want to murder him, like that, you know, if they can't, because they're religious people, they're fundamentalists, they're crazy, right? So like the whole thing is like you want to save this kid from them, but like they will not misgender them under any circumstance, right? They want to kill him, but like, that's fine. But like misgendering over the line.
Over the line. You
Over
can
the
have a
Oh.
scene where Stormfront is creaming herself, getting her tits lasered off by evil Superman, and that's fine. That's okay. That's acceptable. You can see her killing an entire family of black people. That's okay. Just don't speak the word.
That actually reminds me of something. I had to make sure I wasn't imagining this. This is an old culture war drama from 2016. We're going all the way back. Let's see if you guys remember this. All right? You have an insensitive X-Men Apocalypse ad. Where the character Apocalypse, who wants to destroy the world, he's choking out a woman.
Yep, that's a
And
bit
that
too
was
much.
And they were saying, "Oh, you can't do that. Oh, you can't show violence against women." I mean, this is back in 2016, where like the trans thing hadn't
a
really
better
ramped up
example,
yet.
right? Mortal Kombat 1, Dev.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Can't show
like
violence against women. Yeah.
incredibly gory, you know, like mature game. You can have Sindel perform a fatality on her daughter, or her daughter just murdered her mother. Like that's fine. But there is like this one scene where Omni-Man talks to Sindel and he says, "I want to make pets of your daughters." Oh my god, over the line. Oh shit, can you imagine?
Yeah.
Oh, the
Oh,
damage that it causes to the fabric of our society.
Or the Joker cover. So the Joker, the most overused villain in DC history, the mass murderer of thousands, the incredible terrorist. That cover was withdrawn because Batgirl looked a little frightened on it. Terrible.
Yeah. This is all fucking stupid. And you know, we thought we had vanquished this when like the religious right was finally put down for good back in the 2000s, and we could finally be artistically free again. No, it just came back. It's like the old Puritanism kind of resurged through the left instead.
Well, as I've said many times before, Vee's theorem of the horseshoe is probably correct. The horseshoe theory. Actually,
V
Yeah.
wasn't there like a meme back in the day where it was like your face and you were like soy facing while you were hitting the horseshoe button? It was like 5 years ago now. I don't remember. I think there was a meme of that went viral for a short while.
this is one of my favorite covers ever because this was against the religious right. This was the attempt to make a super controversial cover back then, and it's got a gun pointed towards a dog with the text, "If you don't buy this magazine, we'll kill this dog." Like, this was what was controversial back in the day. Now, you know, Batgirl's crying. That's too bad. We can't have that. I do also just genuinely enjoy the look on the dog's face, as if it's just like, "Why are you doing this, Jeff? Seriously." Anyways, before we move on to the other topics of the evening, let's have a look at some of the super chats that will be yelling at both of you, I have no doubt. As I am certain you have both said multiple dumb things today. Let's see. Sir Zorg says Dev's commie colon is like his Minecraft blockers, bullied by a wizard. Cabal prevails. Dev does go to the toilet a little bit too often. He does. We're going to give him one of those butt plugs he... You advertised for them yourself, didn't you, Dev? Under the viral post you sold from me.
Oh, God. You saw that, eh?
I did.
Here, you want to show the chat what it is?
No.
Can I tell the chat what it is?
No.
So
Because you'll
chat.
misgender Jim Sterling, that's why.
Okay, so chat. You can now get a butt plug that is the size and shape of an actual newborn baby that you can put into your butt. Enjoy.
That's the thing you can do. Actually, okay, chat. Since you've been a good chat, a quick little point. I'll use the video that Dev stole from me to exemplify it. But for all you out there, Stephanie Sterling, the woman, Stephanie Sterling, of course, YouTube, is pregnant. And Dev decided to mock that because Dev is heartless and evil and doesn't respect women's rights.
No, I don't.
There we go. That's my YouTube-friendly take on that. Obdulio says, that TIE Fighter fan animation is a tribute to the PC game of the same name. A space fighter simulator. There's a spin-off of X-Wing in the old extended universe. There are plenty of tales about other aspects of universe. Those games themselves are based on the book series. Yep. The extended universe. The fact that Disney decided to just ignore the extended universe is probably their single greatest failing.
Is it that they don't have rights for it?
That is part of it, definitely. That it is legally difficult, complicated. As they were written under the open creative license, because George Lucas himself basically said that so long as it's not the main storyline, I don't care what else you do with it. So they technically had permission to make up whatever they wanted. And so if Disney wanted to try and engage with that, it would probably get them, I don't know, sued. I don't think anyone would be dumb enough to try and sue Disney, but then again, it is the current year, so who knows. Mark99 says, Star Wars has so much potential. Star Wars The Clone Wars showed how great those shows can be. Every episode that focused on the clone troopers was awesome. Now imagine that for stormtroopers. Exactly. Like, there's still a lot of potential in Star Wars. They just need to, rediscover it. Lord Commissar Augustus Fun Tool
It's
says,
not Latin, not good art.
why are you supporting Putin and Russia's invasion?
Audio?
Because it's based. I wasn't aware that I was, but that's the reason I'll come up with. See, it'll be a forever war, as is exactly what I predicted in my trench war video. It's just going to keep grinding on, and is going to keep grinding on, and we're going to forget about it. In fact, we've already forgotten about it. Ever since the Middle East nonsense kicked off, nobody fucking cares. Nobody cares. Like, this was on the news every day. Every day. Now, I haven't heard a peep about Ukraine for, a month? Like, because Ukraine was never a moral issue for the West. It was about pushing ratings. That's why. That's what it was. That's all it was. Now, I, of course, unilaterally, yes, but unquestionably denounced Russia's aggression against another sovereign nation. But, if that was all it took to get Russia to go like, oh, well, if you say so, then we wouldn't be here today, now would we?
Oh, so when I was in the toilet at the start of the show, you guys were talking about like the brand power of Star Wars, right? And V, you thought that maybe Naruto was approaching Star Wars' brand power. Here's the thing. Um, I don't think there's really any anime that can match up with Star Wars, but there's a whole bunch of video games that can definitely over in terms of just in terms of like brand impact, like how much clout does a brand have, how much audience does it command. Um, like I think for example, Super Mario is probably way is probably way more established than Star Wars is. I think there's a lot of video game franchises that are.
No,
Possibly.
I think like you reach a point of establishment where like you can't establish any further, and I think both Star Wars and Mario are. Like I wouldn't say like there, because like what you're saying is that there is a person out there that knows Super Mario and doesn't know what Star Wars is.
Yeah.
How many
I
of
mean,
those people do you think there are? I
I'm
don't
not sure. I'm
think
not sure,
that.
but like Mario, like the character of Mario is more iconic than the character of
Darth
Mickey
Vader.
Mouse at this point. Mickey Mouse. So it's like that's that's pretty fucking
Yeah, but
iconic.
because there have been more Mario games than there have been Mickey Mouse TV shows.
Maybe. I'm not sure exactly.
Dude,
Okay,
there
I
are-
looked it up
there
here.
I'd
are-
say
there are
Mickey
people-
Mouse and Star and Mario are probably fairly close.
I
Hold
mean,
on.
no, I
I
would say
looked it
that
up,
there
I
are
looked it up.
people, Arch and Dev, that have been born and have never seen a Mickey Mouse cartoon in their life.
Yeah, probably at this point.
But they have
that makes
played
sense.
the Mario game.
Yeah, it's a more modern thing. Yeah. So I looked it up. The Star Wars saga reportedly has an estimated total value of $70 billion US. It is the 5th highest grossing franchise of all time. However, the Super Mario Brothers brand net worth is $6.8 trillion. So it's worth quite a bit more than Star Wars is.
It is. Well, the Nintendo cuck, of course, needs to brag about it.
Yes.
I was Googling to see if there was some kind of like ranking of the most known fictional characters across the world, but it's all just like personal polls and stuff. Because I imagine probably Nintendo is going to have a big advantage because of Asia, and they're simply just being more fucking people over there.
Let's see.
I mean, surely Superman 2 must be, like, not in terms of value, but in terms of recognizability. Surely Superman's got to be pretty far up there. You know, alongside Pikachu.
The 100 most iconic fictional characters. What do we got? Superman, Mickey Mouse, James Bond, Bugs Bunny, Batman. Yeah, these all seem about right. Yeah, I think a lot of these are just like the writer's opinion, though, not any sort of objective ranking.
Yep, I think so too. But surely Superman's got to be pretty far up there.
Yeah.
Superman and Pikachu. That'll be what historians dig up from our age. And I choose Pikachu because he's a dumb rat. And he's worth probably more than America. I do enjoy that. And now that I've been disturbed, I've lost track of where I was. There we are. Animate Acumen says, Arch, your cat girl and his friends are drunk as we speak. Well, he's very cheap when he's drunk, so. Zontar says, Zeta Gundam's what the Star Wars sequel should have been. Mando should have had the Imps colony drop a Super Star Destroyer on Coruscant to explain why. Gundam. Oh, God, I wish Gundam was bigger, but it probably it can't really work in the West because of the aesthetic of Zion. I imagine that'd be a difficult sale.
Well, also, I think what kind of hurts it is that they reset the lore every single new show.
Yes,
I have lost shit.
Yes, I've grown quite tired of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Japan in general seems to have no problem making, parodies of Nazi Germany.
Heresy's the question.
While we've kind of
Fire is
shy
the
away from
answer.
it.
Why would you? Yeah, like why would you shy away from making parodies of Nazi Germany? Like, I guess
you shouldn't, but we do.
Yeah, well, I guess like modern Western academics are defending the honors of the Nazis. You know what's interesting about the Nazis? Like let me tell you.
Sure, fill me in about
Everyone
what's
says
interesting
that
about the
Nazis are bad, but if you actually ask a random person, what is the economics of Nazi Germany? What are their policies on environmentalism? What are their policies on green energy? Oh shit!
Yep.
Literally, the only thing they know about Nazis is the uniforms and that it was in Germany and they did genocide. But that's it. They don't know anything about their political system. They don't know anything about their philosophy or ideology. Either the fact that it was racist, but it's like, congratulations, that's like the ideologies of a lot of other cultures that existed before them. It's so fascinating, like how they dumb down the culture. And I think like the reason is that there are many Nazi policies that are considered progressives now, like the environmentalist one. Like that is exactly, like the Nazis were green.
They were.
Isn't that true, Arch?
They are.
Yeah.
It also has to do with the fact that, culturally speaking, Japan is actually closer to the Germans. Unironically.
No,
Like,
look, the idea of book burning, right? Like everyone knows it's like, oh, the book burn. What is modern book burning if not Amazon banning books?
well, yeah,
Or
absolutely.
the
But
government pressuring Twitter from removing certain people from social media?
you've also just got to understand that in the Japanese point of view, like, they didn't fight the Germans. And so depicting the Germans as cute anime girls doesn't really go against them too much. But they did fight the Americans. And the Americans did occupy their country for a good 30, 40, 50 years. And they did nuke them twice. So the Japanese, unsurprisingly, have a bit more sympathy leaning towards the other West.
Yeah, but when they still portray Americans, they do put in like blonde, big boobed girls who have the American flag bikini and they're eating a hamburger and they wear like a cowboy hat.
They're all often also the villains. Like if you're watching a Godzilla movie, for example, the Americans are always the bad guys. Like, even in anime, usually America is displayed as this kind of really greedy corporate nation over there that's going to take away Japan's stuff for no other reason than because they're American.
Yeah. Well, when I made my my video about conservative media interpretations, I pointed out that a lot of anti-capitalist rhetoric in Japan doesn't come from socialists. It comes from conservatives who view capitalism as like this foreign project that is infecting Japan.
Indeed. And that's been a part of Japan for quite some time. Japan still is an interesting country in many ways. And that's why we get good entertainment out of them, because they're still probably the world's most racist country.
I wouldn't say they're the most
I wouldn't
racist,
say
Arch.
they're
Come
most
on
racist.
now.
I've been to China,
Oh,
what the
have you
fuck?
ever been to a Japanese
China.
restaurant?
Have you been to a Chinese place, Arch?
Yeah, but at least I don't understand what they're saying to me.
Oh, I see. Is that how it works?
Yep.
Like, as long as you understand that they can
Racism
be racist,
needs
but-
to be
Heresy's the
experienced to
question.
exist.
Fire is the answer.
Otherwise, it's just
China
funny.
is China's definitely more racist than Japan. Definitely.
I would say so, yes.
They're mostly just racist against the Japanese, though, and for good reason. The Japanese were pretty cruel to them during that whole war thing.
Nah, they still they can treat white people bad. They definitely treat black people bad. Japan is like mellowed out a lot.
I don't know if I can say this on Arch's channel, so let me see how I can phrase it in a way that's terms of service compliant.
Just say it, V. Spit it out. Don't be a
Americans
cock.
are sending people to Japan. They're not sending their best. I mean, look at Johnny Somali, right? I'm sorry, but like if you're on primetime television and your name is Johnny Somali and you do the things that Johnny Somali does, it doesn't really reflect very well on
On V's people. Yeah.
And then there were like I think like two other individuals, also Americans. They went to Japan to see. Yeah. They also committed crime. What do you think is with this fascination of committing crimes on live streams, Arch?
I think it's
Why
just an
don't you do
American
it?
thing. Americans are weird like that.
No. You have Mizzy in the United Kingdom. Like, let's not pretend the phenomenon isn't worldwide.
Yeah, that's right. Dev did a video on that. It was a very racist video. I condemn it.
Yep.
Why
Feels
don't you
good,
do
man.
it, Arch? Why don't you commit crimes on a live stream?
So, you know what I think it is? I think there's this belief, especially among the people who are Zoomers, like 19, 20, 20 run, like younger people right now. They think that the powers that be don't know how to use computers, even though the powers that be are in their 30s and 40s and definitely know what the internet is like. So they think that like, oh, this is like a private thing that I'm doing and no one will ever know about it because it's only for my channel and those dumb boomers don't know how to use YouTube. And it's like, yes, we do, and we're gonna catch you, and they do get caught.
Okay,
So
but
I
Dev,
think
I have one
Mhm.
question for you.
okay.
Do you know how to change the battery of a smoke detector?
Yes, I do.
I wonder if chat got it.
Kyle doesn't know how to change the battery of a smoke detector. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, Kibbs still keeps going off.
Yep. it
Wait, so
chirps.
like when Gibbs it chirps?
Yep.
Yeah.
The ceiling birds occasionally cry on Gibbs's live stream. The cry of the ceiling bird. And he doesn't react to it at all. He just sits there like, chip. Did you hear
Like,
that?
ironically,
Nope.
it could be that certain people do not hear that frequency of sound. It might actually be a hazardous problem. Because like if you can't hear it and it goes off, then that is a problem, right? And it's easily fixable. Like you just make
So-
smoke detectors that have a different sound.
So I did a
Well,
video
Fred Mingles.
examining that possibility. V. That's not it.
Yeah.
That's
V.
actually not the case at all. It's just that a lot of people they just don't care. They just tune it out.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Like, dude, if you have that shit in your house and it chirps constantly, like it drives you insane.
If you've heard it 10,000 times, you just get used to it.
Dude,
People
I
do
can't
get used
sleep
to
with the
noise.
fucking old clock. Like the reason I don't have an old clock
you
in
would
my house.
if we
because,
kept
like,
forcing you to. Eventually, you would, because people get used to noises. People get used to smells. People get used to damn near anything.
Yep.
I can't imagine how it's like to have like a grandfather clock in your fucking bedroom.
CDR 902 says,
I
if you
have
want an
lost.
anime franchise worth more than Star Wars, that would be Pokemon. Pokemon's a good point, yes. Pokemon also has a tremendously vibrant pornography scene as well, incidentally. Wolfsbane says, Dev,
Pokemon's of age though.
Kathleen Kennedy was the coffee girl and was good at allocating money. She's not an ID girl. They even ignored her when they even ignored her when during Indiana Jones. Well, there you go, Dev. Dumb Dev. Silly Dev. He's probably got to take a shit again. The real Senator says, V, not every problem is solved by increasing breast size. The problem with Rey is that a character is terrible. Correct. And Alex Adams says, shut up, V. Flat is justice. Wow. V, I think you got your ass beat in that debate right there. A 100% route.
I mean, look, your viewers can be wrong. I mean, they're not giving me Superchats, so I can criticize them. It's fine.
Exactly.
It's like, if you want-
My paying viewers are saying you're wrong, V.
Yes, and I'm saying they can be wrong.
Their words speak volumes.
Yeah, well, my words speak volumes as well. They're wrong.
Mike 11 says,
By the way,
Bio-Leninist
how did that-
has to be donation sound too. I'll see if I can get Dev to say it.
How did that poll go? Like, did you start it?
No?
It was, would they go see Star Wars if Rey Skywalker looked like in that picture that I sent?
They would have said no. I believe my chat. The Real Horsenator says, you're wrong, V. Not every guy only thinks with their member. See, you are getting your ass beat here. This is tragic. Mike 11 says, only
I think that
NTR Big Booba Asian would satisfy all of you. Japanese people can have enormous tits. Just want to point that out.
Yes.
Alex Adamson says, Dev is correct for once. V, please be quiet. V, I'm sorry, dude. This was a complete slaughter. A one-sided slaughter.
I was grabbing food this time, Arch. Don't worry about it.
Well, your small tit justice has been proven correct, as it turns out.
So apparently they
Of
wanted
course.
to make a study to see if certain demographics don't hear the chirp. But they considered that such a study would be racist and they didn't allow it even before it began. Because that would be, no, unironically, like that would be concerning, right? Like if you have a smoke detector alarm and like some people literally can't hear it. And this, like usually, for example, like certain sound ranges, like you don't hear them as you grow older. Like when you're a kid, you can hear longer sound ranges than when you're an adult. And
Yep.
if it would be the same for demographics, but we don't know
Service
because no one wants to
guarantees
study that.
citizenship.
They don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole, which means that a problem which could be easily fixed by just changing the sound frequency is never going to be addressed.
So here's the thing, V. Like that
Harrison's
was
the
what was
question.
behind the
Fire
whole
is the
Lavender
answer.
Town music thing. Remember that?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I don't like the, what is the about?
Okay, so Lavender Town is a city in the first Pokemon game, right? And it has it's like a haunted city, so it has a very creepy music, and it has the music for the city has like a background, like really high pitched background sound. And people realize that it's at just the right pitch so that lots of people, when they grow older, they can't hear it anymore. So you had a
Service
bunch of
guarantees
millennials go back to
citizenship.
play the original Pokemon game. Like they found it in their attic or whatever at their parents' house, and they turn let's see, they turn it back on, and then they realize, oh, the song sounds different now that I'm playing it as an adult, and it turns
Yeah,
out,
this is a known
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
yeah, and that's what was going on with Lavender Town, is that it was at just the right frequency that people who played it as a kid and could remember the sound couldn't hear it anymore.
And what if it's like the same way, between demographics? Like some demographics can hear something and others can't. Like, wouldn't that be like when it comes to a smoke alarm? Wouldn't that be a safety issue?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Service guarantees
Dude,
citizenship.
like Kibbs, does he hear it?
Nope.
Okay, so he doesn't hear it. Like it's not that.
I mean, he's
He
just gotten
hears
used to it.
No, but that doesn't work.
He's just gotten
It's
used to
like,
it.
look, I can give you an
have
example,
lost.
right? If I have like a loud clock, you know, one of those with the pendulum that
You'll just get used to it.
yeah, you get used to it, but if you're asking me, like, can you hear it? You can,
But
right?
only when you listen, because you don't hear
Service
it normally.
guarantees citizenship.
Yes, and does Kibbs, like, when he listens to it, does he hear it?
No,
But that's
So-
my
so
point.
because it comes
Like,
too
like,
late.
isn't it?
Hey, hold on. It's kind of like hoarders, V, where like you'll just like people will like, or people who have like 10,000 projects on the go, and then like I'm like this, right? Like currently on top of my microwave, there's like a bunch of like disassembled computer parts just sitting there. They've been there for like 6 months, right? I walk by my microwave. Anyone who goes and sees that, they see a pile of computer parts. I just see what's normal, right?
Okay,
Because it's normal
let's
to me.
put it differently.
I don't
Okay,
see it in the same way.
If you have eye problems, right? And you're looking at something and you're seeing it blurry and you can't read the text, right? And the question is it like someone that literally can't read it or someone that can't be arsed to read it? Like, this is the question, right? Now, you guys are saying it's like, well, actually, they can read it, but they just choose not to. They're used to the fact that it's there, so they're not. But how do you know? Like, what do you base your assumption on?
Well, hold on. That happens all the time. I mean, if you work at a workplace where there's
Harrison's
like
the question.
a
Fire
safety
is the
post,
Yeah,
answer.
no, I
right?
agree.
You walk
it can
by it
happen, which is
10,000
why
times a
I
day, you're not gonna read it
specifically-
anymore.
Yes, like I agree it can happen, which is why I specifically chose this example. Like, you can have a person that literally doesn't hear it, or a person that can hear it but like is used to it. How do you know which is which? Like, if you ask the person and they literally tell you they can't hear it, why don't you believe them?
I don't know. Probably because
Yeah,
they're
that's
probably
my point.
they're probably just saying that. And if you ask them to like, hey, no, like, because here's the thing, I've seen videos of this where like they've sat someone down and said, okay, listen and pay attention, and the beat goes off and they're like, what was that? And they go, what do you mean, what was that? I didn't hear anything. And they said, no.
Yes, I saw the video
But-
as well.
here-
Yeah, it
but
was
here's the
with
thing,
black
they say,
woman. Yeah.
they ask them again, they go, no, that beep, and they go, oh, it's just that. Like, it's become such a non-issue to them. They can hear it, but it's become like psychologically a non-issue, so they don't even register it as something worth talking about.
Look, I genuinely want to know, like, there must be a person in the chat that has the chirp. And like, I genuinely want to know whether or not they can hear it or not. Like, it's fine. I'm not going to judge. But my hypothesis is that they literally cannot fucking hear it. Because you see those people having homes that are clean, right? Like, you can see through the webcam, like, they're clean. It's not like they're lazy or anything, right? Like, it's not like their house is out of mess. It's just a fucking chirp. And it just doesn't make sense.
No, V. Bad. Matt Diff says, V is right, for once. Look up the Gal Gadot Fast and Furious swimsuit shoot. She looks like a wooden board.
I know I'm right.
Mr. Bob7370 says, what am I hearing? What I am hearing is a guy with good enough boob is hot for V. There you go. A guy with boobs is good enough for V. McWell11 says, sure, decanonize Ray using turbo cannons. Indeed, she needs to die. You can't decanonize her. She needs to die. It would be a great way to actually win back fans by murdering Ray. In probably a relatively brutal way as well.
Service guaranteed.
Wilson says
citizenship.
Dev likes flat women and femboys. We all know V has a dummy mummy issue, and Arch is just a closet furry. None of you are free of sin. Closet furry?
Wait a
Listen.
second. So,
Heresy's
Arch,
the
in that last
question.
super chat, you said
Fire is
win
the
back
answer.
fans, right?
Win back fans?
Yeah, you just said that. Like, it's a
Right.
great way to win back fans is to kill Ray.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my god. I was chewing really loudly, and I thought I heard you say win black fans, and I thought to myself, why would killing a white woman make you win black fans? Oh, okay.
Dev. Bad Dev.
Dev.
Racist
What the
Dev.
fuck is wrong with you? Jesus Christ, Dev.
I'm not a closet
Heresy's the
furry, but you
question.
little bastards
Fire
are.
is the answer.
I tested it. I know. Nathan Cassidy says it doesn't matter how big her chest or butt is if the girl is completely unlikable. Well, in the case of Ray, bland us a bowl of unflavored oatmeal.
Service guarantees.
I think this
Chick,
is like
from
a
Legacy of the Shield Hero, right? And she's unlikable. And then you have
19 to
Flair.
1.
You have Flair from Riddle of Healer. I disagree. If the chick is hot, I don't care if she's unlikable. The market tells you. I know you're going to come here. It's like, oh, but the other Flair, and also Bichu from Legacy of Shield Hero, right? Shut the fuck up. They have. Oh, not to mention, look at Twitch streamers. Look at Twitch streamers with millions of fucking people that are so poor they can't pay their rent, but they give Superchats to them. And come here and tell me, oh, it doesn't matter if she has an attitude problem. Oh, yeah, sure. If you are a hot woman with big tits, you could have the attitude problem. No one would give a fuck. You would still have like an army of Sims willing to just pay you money for existing. And that is
You don't
the
need
cold,
to-
harsh reality.
But V, you don't need to join the simp army.
I'm not saying I would join the simp army. I'm saying that if you cast a woman in a TV show or in a movie, even if she has no personality, if she's good looking, you're going to get people in the seats paying you money. It's not fucking rocket science, Dev. It's very simple. Hollywood used to do it. Now they don't. But Bollywood does it. I mean, look at Bollywood movies. They're shit. Almost all of them. Why do they have people watching? Because they cast beautiful actors.
Unironically, people watch Bollywood because of racial superiority.
I know. I speak
Mostly.
to people that are from India. They literally say that.
Yep, I know. And hey, I can understand. Chuck Sneed says TLDR, massive corporation is scared of risk. Yes, in large part. And they will simply do what they are told is going to be a good thing. Alex says, I'm giving you $5 to let you know forced lighting isn't a Sith exclusive power. Plocon could use it in the prequel side material. Well, there you go. That's exactly my point. It's supposed to be a Sith power.
They retconned it. It's a Sith power. Apparently, the Jedi do a yellow lightning shit.
Okay, that's dumb too.
Yeah, it is dumb. I know. But like theoretically, the reason it's a Sith power is because in order to do it, you have to channel like strong emotions, and the Jedi work oppositely. So that's why only the Sith can do it. And it's also addictive. Like the reason that Palpatine couldn't stop doing it is because once you start, you enjoy doing it basically. So
It's like
difficult
sounding.
to stop.
I see.
Have you tried it, Arch?
No. Nor am I going
was-
to, because it's addictive, as you can clearly
Do,
tell.
do, do you think like we should like start with small pencils and work our way up and see
The
like who
power
wins?
is too much. You can't stop once you sound.
You know, there was a guy that tried to shoot himself with small caliber bullets and just slowly increase in order to see if he can get resistance to the pain.
Well, some people are dumb.
Yeah, eventually he ended up in the hospital. Like, he started with like small things, and it was like, oh well, this doesn't do anything. It hardens my skin. He
No.
was trying to do like a poison thing, and it didn't work. Like, eventually he ended up in the hospital.
Much more importantly, Anubis Fox says, Good day, Arch, and howdy V. Dev, V, was the Krumlauf a good accessory? Also, Arch, please make an EVE Online corporation. I must burn New Eden in the name of our Lord and Savior, Arch Christ. Dell likes men.
I know it wasn't
He
a good
does.
accessory. Do you know how, Arch?
Because he wouldn't have asked you about it if it was.
No. See, I'm going to show you what I did at med school. Like, sometimes you don't need to study, you just use logic. If it would have been a good accessory, we would know about it today. But because we don't know about it, it must have been shit.
I don't even know what we're talking about, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. So if you don't know what you're talking about, it's a bad accessory. Like it was replaced. Its production line stopped.
The Krummlauf was the genius German idea to shoot around corners using the STG-44.
What's wrong with the idea?
Oh, nothing. They kind of do it today. Oh, what was it?
Doesn't it break the barrel though?
Oh well, yes, but
Service
there was
guarantees citizenship.
Oh God, is it? Ah, there it is. Yes. Okay. I fucking love this weapon, and it's Israeli too, so it kind of fits in with you know the current year events.
The current thing, yeah.
Yep. Here you go. This was the Israeli idea. You take a cat, and you shove a weapon up its ass, and then you can bend the weapon using a little internal mechanism. And then the Hamas terrorist will be, you know, staring around the corner, and he'll just see a cat, you know, peeking around the corner. And he'll be like, oh, it's just a kitty. But in reality, it's an Israeli gun. And then he'll shoot the terrorist.
You know, I think this could actually work depending on the material that you make that that curvature thing.
Oh, yeah, well, it works. It actually does work. It's just a bit of a weird idea.
Yeah, like how many times do you need to shoot around corners?
About as many times as you need to find a cat to ram a assault rifle, you know, down on, I guess.
Wait, that was actually a thing with the cat? I thought you were joking.
Well, so was I.
Isn't
Then
that like
again-
a thing in Postal? Like in the video game Postal, you have the cat thing?
I think so. You can do like a cat silencer or something.
Yeah. And it goes like meow, meow.
But there's a lot of loose cats, I heard, in, you know, that part of the world. So kitties are frequent, and you just need to grab one and then, you know, plug it on.
You know, you'd give your soldiers PTSD, but like killing cats is something that most like you go to Muslim nations and they have a thing against dogs. Like literally, they can't stand dogs. But like cats, no problem.
Yeah, but have you asked the Israeli about their opinions on cats?
I'm pretty sure like it's universal. Like everyone likes cats.
I don't know about that. Like, you'd think everybody
Who
liked
hates
dogs,
cats?
because dogs are much more likable. Cats are assholes.
No, I disagree.
That's
Dogs can
because you're
bite
wrong.
you. Like cats leave you the fuck alone. No,
And cats can fucking claw you. Oh, cats can claw you to
cats
bite you
don't
too.
bark. No, like the cat's primary instinct is to run away. But let me put it this way, Arch. Okay, you heard about cat girls, but how popular are dog girls? I mean, maybe you know one or two, right? A VTuber that's a dog girl. But like generally speaking, everyone likes cat girls.
Yeah, but dog girls are
So
cute
cats
too.
are also, yeah.
Wolfsbane says there was a mini comic in the Star Wars Tales comic about a stormtrooper from his time in basic to his death. Make a band of brothers about that guy. Yep, that is what we need to do. And yet, we're not doing it for some mysterious reason.
Oh, V, the reason for that is that cat girls and bunny girls were already established kind of like in Western erotica before any sort of
Oh
anime
my
influence.
fucking god! Don't dissect the joke, Dev. Jesus fucking Christ! Holy
but-
shit!
You don't like bunny girls?
No, just don't dissect the joke. I know why. There's more popularity.
There was an
when it comes to-
entire anime about dog girls.
Okay, fine with me.
Like, what was it called? Doggy Days or something terrible? The Dog Days. There was a whole anime about it. It had little dog girls in it. It was not a very good anime, but it was cute. So there you go. There was also Dev, the anime, where a man was reincarnated as a dog and then immediately started multiple relationships with several white women.
Wait, why is this Dev the anime?
Oh, well, I wonder why.
I didn't do anything.
Uh-huh. If you look to the end of the anime, you will
I
actually
have-
see
I have
Dev
lost.
credited in the credits.
Shit.
As director, producer, writer, everything, really. He did all of it. Right, drawer, like he drew it. It was a one-man production. Quite impressive, actually.
So kind of like Andy and the Coffin of Lady.
Kind of.
It is a one-woman production, Dev.
American Outlier has been a member for 7 months. Thank you very much, sir.
Oh,
to
that
say,
outline.
I'll kill you. I will. I'll use a Krumlav on you too, V. Bad V.
Why? I'm excited to hear that American Outlier is here. Do you know he's making a manga art?
Hi, Arch and the gang. Hope you all are well. Arch, did you see the body pillow sketches I sent? Hope you like them. We'll be working on apparel next.
It's got like this futuristic cyberpunk shit. And it's got like sexy women that use like a costume with a symbiote that gives them power and stuff, and they're really hot. It's got a sniper lady with a bionic eye, and she casts magic spells and stuff. He hopes one day his manga will be made into an anime.
Well, I hope so too.
And he's a black person, so my idea is that in the future he's going to do anime reviews.
I like this one better. Maximum117B says Kennedy was a producer in name only. She handled the business and media side of movie making. Spielberg revealed a lot in an interview. There you go. And yes, by the way, I did see the Dakimakura.
Heresy's the question.
That's the correct
Fire
name,
is
by
the
the way.
answer.
Not Body Pillow, Dakimakura. Mark James says, just go play Thrawn's Revenge or any of the other mods. Awakening of the Rebellion for Star Wars Empire at War. Speaking of which, the developers for the game, Petroglyph, just released a new patch. I did hear about that. I am presuming they're working on a sequel, which I'm far more excited for than the patch.
I want the Dakimakura for Christmas.
Curtis Thompson says, honestly, best thing to come out of Disney was the Star Wars Legion miniatures game. That I've actually heard good things about. Ben Benson, Blade Onetta sounds hilarious. Would watch. Yeah,
It would be good.
maybe.
You know they murdered Bayonetta. Like apparently you now
Service
have like her
guarantees
daughter, which
citizenship.
has the Californian mental illness haircut.
Yeah,
is
but
her
she
name.
probably deserved it.
I played Bayonetta 3. Did you play it, V?
No, I will not give money to people who hate me, Dev.
Okay, so it's actually like an alternate universe future daughter. They basically did the Trunks storyline from Dragon Ball Z, where like an alternate Bayonetta died, and then the daughter went back in time to try and like prevent it. They just did Trunks' story. They completely ripped off Trunks. But yeah, basically there's this whole thing where like Bayonetta hands down the Bayonetta name to the daughter, and she takes over.
Ugh.
However, shortly after Bayonetta Origins came out, which is like a prequel game, it's like a puzzle game. Kamiya left the company, and he said today that he had plans for like 9 Bayonetta games in total, and they're not going to happen now because the company decided to take the character in a different direction. So, yeah, it does seem like one of those situations where he had a vision and the company had a different vision, and his vision was taken away from him.
Do you want to know something even more hilarious? The company drew, I think it was on Father's Day, yeah. They drew a picture with Bayonetta and that guy, which is kind of like a romantic love interest. But basically, like, they drew a happy family with Bayonetta.
Yep.
People on Twitter lost their shit. It's like, oh my god, but she's supposed to be gay. And I'm thinking that if things go the way they're going now for another 5 years, you're going to have politicians being accused of being straight.
Heresy's the question. Fire is the answer.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm not kidding. Or Twitch streamers, at least. You know, like, you're going to have Twitch streamers, and it's like, it's coming out that I've seen you with a woman.
We're over the hill. This shit is gonna die. It's gonna have a last like resurgence before
Heresy's
it
the
properly
question.
dies. But this shit
Fire
is
the
over.
answer.
This shit is
So here-
over.
Someone in the chat asked, Bayonetta got SJW'd. I mean, kinda and kinda not,
Yes.
right? Because they did do the whole let's replace the hero with the new character and like hand down the mantle thing, which was completely unnecessary in this case. But they did it, and so that kind of that follows like the Rey Skywalker formula of taking over from Luke, right? However, all the SJW types, they still hated Bayonetta 3 because it confirmed that Bayonetta ends up with a guy and isn't actually a lesbian, which Bayonetta 1 and 2 really kind of leaned into her being a lesbian, or at least
I
bisexual,
played those
right?
games. I played those games. She wasn't a lesbian. But like,
She was
at the same
bisexual. She's
time, you
bisexual,
can
dude. She
interpret
was
it
bisexual.
as being, you can interpret it as her being just friendly with the other chick, or she
Nah,
can even
nah,
be
dude.
bisexual.
She goes to hell to rescue this girl. No way. No,
There
there's
is no
definitely
kissing with her.
bisexuality.
She
There's
never
definitely
kissed.
bisexuality.
No, it can also be that she's like one of the last witches from her Umbra clan. There is no kissing. There is no hand holding. There is no hugging. There is absolutely nothing that would say that she is gay. And even if she
There
was,
is so much sexual tension between those
okay,
characters. I
let's
can't
put it
believe you
this
can't
way.
fucking see
Let's
it.
put it
I
this
have
way, okay?
lost.
There is so much sexual tension between them. Fine. What about the sexual tension with the male interest?
It didn't really
we're
exist
going
in the
to
first
ignore
game.
that.
In the
you know?
second game,
Like,
kinda.
if anything, you can say that she's bisexual.
She's obviously bisexual, yes. Well, here's the thing, though, V. Here's the thing. In Bayonetta 3, they basically reveal that Bayonetta 1 and 2 are alternate timeline games where Bayonetta was, in fact, ending up with John, with the girl. And then Bayonetta 3 is a different timeline. And in that timeline, she's straight. So Bayonetta 3 simultaneously pissed off everyone, okay? Because it pissed off all the wokeoids who really wanted to see their gay representation, but it also pissed off all the people who didn't want, the storyline slate wiped clean and replaced with a new character. So it somehow made everyone angry.
There is no such thing as bi. There's only flavors of gay.
Hey, listen, that's completely fine, Arch. It's still two cute girls doing things with each other.
I mean, yeah, like that's the thing. I genuinely do not know how the West can screw up like having two lesbians in a TV show and not managing to sell it. But then you look at the actresses that they're casting, and it's not sexy lesbians. It's like 40-year-old women,
Yeah,
But like
it's not Xena anymore. Yeah,
exactly. But the thing with Bayonetta, like her being a lesbian, like that's hot, But again, like it left room for interpretation. Like she could literally just be straight, and because like she's one of the last witches from the Umbra, that's why she went to hell for her.
You know what? I could not care less about Bayonetta. That's what I thought. Moxon117B says they have no one to replace Kennedy or Kevin Feige. Well, I'm sure there's someone out there. Some rando off the street. Sandoom says, V, just let Dev dig his hole and bury him later. Bayou Hayton says, I love the depiction of Mon Mothma in Andor. We got to see her trying to form the rebellion and be more than an actual background character. The spying stuff was good. The spying stuff was the best stuff. There could have been a lot more spying stuff.
Actually, Arch, how do you feel about that one police officer who just gets an obsessive kind of compulsion towards the spy master chick?
The spy master chick?
Yeah. So there was the police officer who, like, he helps. I forget the exact story, but he helps somehow. But he's very low level, right? And then he ends up getting drummed out of police, and he has to go work in an office.
Oh,
but
he's the actual hero of the story.
And he's stalking the Imperial lady around, being like, "Oh, I just love you so much," and she's like, "Get the fuck away from me."
Yeah, he's the hero of the story. He's the hero of the story. Oh, because he's the common man loser down on his luck. He did everything right in his previous job, but he got scapegoated and thrown out. After that, he wants to get back in. He wants to help out. He's got his abusive mother. Like, he's got a pretty shit life, and he wants to improve himself. And so he tries to do what he believes in, which is the Empire. And he doesn't follow around with, like, I love you or anything. He follows around because she is his connection to that world. And she's also the hot chick. She's the hot chick in his story. She's the princess that he eventually saves. And if he ends up with her and has a happy little family, that'll be a good story. And Andor can dark dead in a ditch for like her.
I don't think it's going to happen, though. I think he's going to get fucked.
I hope so.
Well, I meant in a negative way, Archer.
Well, that's you.
But
he's the hero.
No, I mean, yeah, in a sense he is, right? Because you're right, because he was given command of like a small operation, and rather than be corrupt, he actually did the right thing, and it fucking destroyed his career, but it was still the right thing to do. Yeah, like he is in some ways the hero, but after he gets drummed out of policing, he does turn a bit obsessive because it seems like he has nothing left, and he kind of gets weird. But it's a fun story.
Because he does have nothing left. The story from now on is going to be about him picking himself up and getting with hot chick.
I don't think so.
I think so.
I think the story from now on is that his obsession will take him too far and he'll just die.
Well, that would be gay and dumb. I don't like it.
It's gonna happen though.
Nope, he's the hero of this story, and he saves the princess, and the princess realizes that he saved him. He saved
Andor season 2, he's gonna die. I bet.
Nope, gonna get the princess. Go to me, live a happy life. The princess will resist and be like, "Oh, you baka, I can't possibly be in love with you." But that's where we're gonna go, because he's the fucking hero. I also hope he catches Andor. I hope they flip the script and just shoot Andor. Turns out that the Andor in the TV show was actually a clone. I'd like that. Be a good twist, too.
Oh my god, dude. It's not coming out till August 2024. We got a long way to figure this bet out.
Don't worry. You've got to rewatch Halo with Gibbs first and hear the chirps of the ceiling birds. McWild11 says, modern women cannot smile. That's not relatable. It's true. They can't smile. Or they're told not to. That's why VTubers have taken off, because they're the only happy women on the internet anymore.
And they do smile.
Reverend 357 says, just dropping by to say thanks for the many hours of entertainment my favorite Swedish man, Bulgarian, and North USA commie have provided. Danke, and good night. Thank you. Nathan Cassidy says, the Saska sisters, twin independent filmmakers, comic book writers, pointed out that Hollywood completely changed when Harvey Weinstein got arrested. And he was not the only man who had stuff to hide. Harvey Weinstein, the hero we deserved.
Did you know that they nuked the Little Witch No Beta server?
Something pedophilia, I'm sure.
It's interesting because Little Witch No Beta is actually a safe for work game. Like, it's on Steam. It's highly rated. It's, commercially available for everyone. But a lot of people who don't like anime were accusing them of being on an FBI watch list. Their server apparently was the creators of that game started being very edgy and started trolling people with memes and stuff. So apparently what ends up happening, and this is what I've heard because I haven't been on their server, and everyone on their server got a warning. But you had like people going into their server and actually posting bad stuff, like not drawings, but actual stuff, and that's what got the server nuked. And now they have a new server, and people are posting gore there. Like there are a group of people that are trying to take down the servers.
Hold on, wait, what is this?
Little Witch No Beta.
Oh, okay. Why are they going after that of all things?
That sounds like somebody created their own drama and is now getting fucked for it, though.
There is like a movement on Twitter where everything anime is pedophilia. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, My Witch Academia. If you like My Witch Academia, you're a pedophile.
Yeah, I've seen this stuff, right?
Right. You've seen it, right?
Yeah.
And it's not only that. Like there is a K-pop star, which recommended an anime. Like, he was asked in an interview, like, what anime should people watch? And he recommended the award-winning anime, Made in the Abyss. So Made in the Abyss not only got prizes and was nominated for Anime of the Year, it's not pornographic anime. It's not hentai or anything, right? It does have like disturbing themes, but go figure. Game of Thrones has disturbing themes. I mean, you have a kid being pushed out of a tower while you have the brothers and sisters fucking, right? Like it's not, yeah, like it's not like anime only does it. But I genuinely think that since Vice magazine made that slanderous documentary, which even got the Pulitzer Prize, saying that anime is pedophilia, you actually do have like people who literally despise anime, and most of them are Disney shills, and they're trying to use the same argument that people used against gamers. It's like gamers are racist and sexist, but now they're trying to shame people away from reading manga or watching anime. And they will say like,
this has been around for fucking ages.
Yeah,
this was a controversy during Monogatari.
Yeah, but it's ramped up in the past few years for sure, right? Like
it's really ramped up. Like any woman that's under 35 right now, if you like her, you're a pedophile. The interesting thing is like My Hero Academia, right? Like, it doesn't even have kissing in it. It doesn't have even hand holding. But because apparently the characters are in a high school setting, so it's like 16, which by the way is legal in most places around the world and even in America. Because they show cleavage, they freak the fuck out. And it's like, why would you sexualize a minor? And I'm like, well, gee, I don't fucking know. I mean, I grew up with TV shows like that. I mean, X-Men, right? Like, they were teenagers. Teen Titans, they had skimpily clad outfits. Jessica from Johnny Quest. Like, almost every single kids show that I grew up with had beautiful drawn female characters. They were aesthetically pleasing. They weren't engaging in anything pornographic. Just like, no, they were just like women dressed. Yeah.
Yeah, they were just cute female characters who were dressed appropriately and not acting sexy. Yes.
Yes, but now they consider anything cute, like literally anything cute, is underage. And if you like, for example, the character design of a My Hero Academia chick, like for example that one with big tits or Pinky or whatever, the frog girl, it's clearly because you're a pedophile. You need to be arrested. You need to be in prison.
Yeah. So
yes,
Arch,
like that is the Twitter wisdom. It's,
Arch, I posted the current scapegoat in the link channel if you want to bring it up. So that's from the Cyberpunk anime, this character, right? And she's like 25, okay? But she's short and she's petite. She has small tits, V. So she's
It's the
considered
art
to
style,
be
yeah.
so she's considered to be what they call minor coded. So even though she's not a minor, she's minor coded due to her features. So if you're short or if you're petite, you have small tits, that means that even if you're above age, you're basically
Yeah,
your
no,
existence
you can't
encourages
win with these
pedophilia.
people. It's like trying to debunk
Yeah.
that gamers are racist, right? Like you can't do it. They will say that if it's an anime girl with no tits, it's minor coded. If it's an anime girl with big tits, go watch porn, you pervert. Right? They hate the anime art style. That's the thing. Like they love the color art shit. They love the Disney shit, the Marvel shit. They just can't handle anime because it actually does have superior aesthetics.
Oh,
And
and
it takes skill to do.
meanwhile, they make shows like Big Mouth where it actually is kids getting in sexual situations. It's
Yes,
like, well,
yeah,
guys,
that's fine.
like,
But if you, I will tell you something that even the chat doesn't know. Probably Arch does. I'm not sure. If you read It from Stephen King, award-winning author, right? And his book has been made into 2 movies now. The one with the killer clown. At the beginning of the first part, and you can look it up on Wikipedia. Like this is known. Like I actually had the displeasure of reading this, and I was like, what the fuck? In the book, in the first part, when the kids defeat the clown, they have an orgy inside the sewers, and they're underage, and they all start fucking that one girl. I don't remember her name. Obviously, it's not in the movie. Like we're talking about, like they're 14-year-old kids, right? This is what he wrote in the book. Then you have Game of Thrones. In the actual book, Game of Thrones, you have Ramsay Snow. He is getting a girl that looks like Arya Stark to marry him, right? So he doesn't marry Sansa like in the TV show. He marries a peasant girl that looks like Arya Stark. She's underage. He gets the dogs to fuck her while Reeks watches. That's in the books, right? Like this is modern Western entertainment. No problem with that. I haven't heard a single outrage, a single criticism, and nothing, right? But if it's an anime or a manga, everyone loses their shit. And I'm just like, okay,
I have
lose your
lost
shit, but why can't you lose your shit over Western stuff as well? Why is it always like anime that you're losing your shit over? You have Drag Kid Story Hour, you have Cooties, you have Big Mouth.
It's not ideologically
I have
conky.
lost. Shit.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It basically because we're just looping back around to the whole.
I think
safe,
this is
edgy,
the
safe, horny
third
thing.
time we've had this exact
Yeah.
discussion.
The safe, edgy, safe, horny situation where because the politics aren't in line, they have to shame you for sexual content because you think incorrectly. Yes.
Oh, I have something excellent for you, Arch. I don't know if you can show it, but you can definitely describe what we're seeing here.
Okay, what is this? Oh, that's from Flamenco. I think he's in the
Yes.
chat today, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember this.
Yes. It's interesting that a lot of times, like it's not. Well, let's not say a lot of times. Let me see how I can phrase it. A disturbingly frequent amount of times, you will have like someone bitch and moan about anime, and then you see them in the newspapers being arrested for pedophilia. Like it becomes such a meme to the point where there are people like making compilations of tweets, and there's like over 30 of them, usually journalists or like people that are content creators or something like that. You'll have them complain about Uzaki-chan or My Hero Academia or like something that's not even lolly. It's just like for mass appeal, like for public consumption, and they're complaining about it, and then you see their face in the newspaper.
Yeah, happens a lot. It turns out that they're like they have like CP on their hard drive where they raped a girl or something, you know.
Yeah, like usually it's not like necessarily CPU on their hard drive. It's more like logs with them talking with the girl comes up, and the girl is underage. And I think like the reason is like when you start making a big fuss in public, people start looking into your private life to see, well, are you the guy that should cast the first stone? Many of times they're not. Many of the time they casted a lot of stones.
Heresy is the question.
Stones.
Fire is the answer.
Actually, on the topic of casting stones, we do have a couple interesting ones to throw as well now, as our corporate overlords are getting greedy again. See, this is going to be interesting now that the money is starting to run dry. Assassin's Creed apparently placed in-game ads inside of... is it Odyssey? Is that Odyssey playing here? I think it's Odyssey. This was supposedly a technical error that they had just happened to get into the full-played game, as it was supposed to show up on the start page instead, which I think is just about as bad, because you're still getting ads in your $70 video game now. It's just that they're a little bit unfortunate with where it popped up. That's the only issue, is, it popped up in the wrong place.
Yeah, that's right. It appeared on like a load screen, didn't it?
If people are going to put up with it, then you're going to get more.
Because there's also, I don't think it was a technical error, because you did actually have button presses on it for, closing or buying, etc. Why would they add that in there if it was supposed to be on the load screen, or not on the load screen, but on the main menu screen?
So let's put it like this: any way looks bad. If it was done on purpose, it was done to see how the market reacts, and there was backlash, so they didn't like it. If it wasn't done on purpose and it was a oopsie, we're talking about a company that harvests your private information. Like when you make a Ubisoft account, you have like 2-step authentication. You trust them with your phone number. You trust them with your email address. You trust them with your password. So just so you can know what competent people they hire, right? Like the type of people that make one of these fuck ups at a company that has your sensitive information, including your credit card, right? Like when you purchase a game, you type in your credit card. It speaks volumes of them.
Yeah. Here's the thing. So when I was I've seen this. I haven't experienced it, but I've seen this. But I experienced something very similar. When I was playing Project Zomboid last night with Kibbs, a couple hours into playing, Steam gave me alert saying that like Steam sales were ongoing and I should go and check them out. And I'm like, I'm playing a game here right now. I'll check out the Steam sales later. I don't want it to appear on now it didn't cover the whole screen like this did with Assassin's Creed. It appeared in the corner where Steam alerts usually appear, right? But still, I'm like, dude, why is this in my game?
Because the money's running out, and they want yours.
I mean, I do understand that with Steam it's a problem if they do that, but like, it's different like when the actual company does it for some reason. I don't know why. I can't articulate it. I'll be able to phrase it, but it pisses me out. Like emotionally speaking, it pisses me off less when Steam does it than when Ubisoft does it.
It's because you haven't paid for Steam.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Steam is the launcher. Steam is a launcher, and the actual owning a Steam account is free. Just buying games on it isn't, right? And because it's like an overlay, it can basically works the same for every game. And
to be honest, it doesn't do it that often. Like I've never encountered that. So like if
I've only encountered it once, just once, and it was last night. Meanwhile, like with this, if it's appearing on like every load screen in a game that you already bought, and like frankly, you should be playing it offline anyway. Like you don't need internet for Assassin's Creed, and it's appearing, it's like Jesus. But like it seems like it's worse for sure. I mean, here's the thing: if you play phone games a lot, like free to play phone games, there's ads in the phone games, right?
Yeah.
And I know lots of people who just disable their internet access while they're playing a phone game so that they don't get the ads, which does work. So I wonder if it would work for this, like just unplug your internet while playing Assassin's Creed and the ads won't come up anymore. But still, it is ridiculous we've gotten to this point.
Oh, they're not going to let you unplug anymore, because everything's online now.
Yeah. Man, that is probably the worst. When you're just playing a single-player game and you have to connect to, like, foreign servers. Like, why? What's the point of this? I can just play the game on my fucking computer.
There was also the thing that... this was pitched years and years ago, the idea of having advertisement in games. But then, of course, it was supposed to be making the games cheaper. They've completely forgotten about that. And there's, in a sense, advertisement in most games now. Because most games have some sort of game service or launcher. Like if you're playing a Paradox game, there's a launcher that comes up. And I was like, hey... look, we made a new video game. We should buy that. There's Activision has a launcher. Like Blizzard used to only have a launcher, essentially, Blizzard Battle.net, and eventually they were forced onto Steam after failing sales, etc.
Service guarantees
Oh yeah,
citizenship.
Diablo was free to buy, I think, like a couple of days ago.
Oh, this reminds me of a few things actually. So, do you guys remember in the early 2010s, where for a short period of time it was actually cheaper to buy a digital copy of a game than a physical? And
Yes.
the excuse given was that, well, it cost less to produce. You don't have to like make a disc and like ship it out
wasn't
there.
an excuse. It's like on point, yeah.
No, that was the reason. But they basically did that until buying digital was normalized, and they just equalized the prices.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was a thing like 10 or 11 years ago. And also something that Sid Alpha unearthed in one of his videos maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Sony was pitching the idea of, let's say if you die against a boss in a game a couple times, after you respawn like on the third time, a pop-up will appear saying, "Hey, you can spend 99 cents and buy an upgrade for this fight only from the store." Like it'll give you a sale on like something like on a purchasable in the store to help you with the fight if you die too much. Things like that will start like Sony was like batting that
Don't
idea
phone games
around.
already do that though.
Yeah, phone games already do that. But still, it's like if you're playing like The Last of Us, right, and you die in a fight,
Yeah, but like
a
I'm
few
I'm
times, it'll
genuinely
like
curious.
here's
like,
more
why
ammo
people,
for
why,
99
why do you
cents.
think people are willing to put up with the shit from phone games though?
Because phone games are generally cheaper, sometimes free. They're meant to be like start and stopped. Like you don't sit down and play for hours and hours. Like you're playing it on the bus or something. They're not really serious games in a sense.
There's
Yeah,
also
but
a
like if
very
they're not serious, why are people willing to put up with that?
there's a very different expectation. Like
that's my question.
every
Why is there a
game,
different
every game doesn't have to be like a big game. Like what determines your expectation for the game and what you're willing to put up with is made by you. That's what it is. Like when you're playing a phone game, you expect it to be a phone game. When you download Nikke, what you expect is hot chicks with their butts shaking. That's
that
all.
apparently like here's the thing, Arch. I actually got a problem over that fucking game. I assume that is just hot chicks with butt shaking, but no, people keep correcting me. V, it's got a good story.
Their tits
There are
shaking.
like so many. There are so many people correcting me to the point where I actually assume that maybe it does have a good story.
Man,
And-
a lot of the lewd anime games also just have a bunch of story in them. Just 'cause.
I'm happy for Nikke to advertise at me because that's part of the contract I sign when I download that game, the free game. When Assassin's Creed, if I were retarded enough to purchase those games, if that, after charging me $60, $70, were to advertise at me, and also not give me hot butt physics, I would object.
I understand where you're coming from, absolutely.
In fact, I might even be mad at it. Very possible. And the worst part is, though, half of the free-to-play games out there, like Genshin Impact, which I played for a bit, or Azur Lane, which was a guilty pleasure for quite some time, they don't really advertise at you all that much, if at all. Like, there might be a pop-up here and there, or a tiny little red dot going like, hey, we updated the store, do you want to check it out? That's about it. Unironically, most of these phone games are less aggressive in their monetization than full-priced AAA releases.
Because their monetization are the tits.
Whereas
Like
in,
they really don't need anything more.
whereas in
and
other
it's not like
games, they're
people-
interested in any of that.
And it's not necessarily the fact that they have tits, which is that no other game has tits besides those games. So there's like literally a big craving in the market.
But it is also just good old-fashioned corporate greed in many ways too. And there's another interesting little initiative, as Dev mentioned, copyrights, and not copyright, but patents. Activision has apparently patented a system that will recommend you games based on what videos you watch.
See, I
What do you
don't
mean?
mind that, to be honest,
on
because
Netflix?
like getting ads that you like is a lot better than getting ads that you're not interested. Like if you're going to get ads anyway, I might as well like get ads that I'm interested in. So that's fine.
Well, essentially, it would analyze the stuff you are watching, and I'm not entirely sure how they're going to do this, but essentially it's going to fetch the data and then generate a game suggestion based on what you are watching on a live stream. So this is one of those little things. Okay, so how are they going to integrate this into your computer precisely? Is it going to be a little bit of adware that they just slap on your computer? Is it going to come with their games only? Are they going to do a deal with Twitch or YouTube to do this? Because you could then be, let's assume YouTube, right? You'll be sitting there, and you're watching a video, and suddenly a giant-ass window opens going, hey, buy Maiden.
Yeah, I can see that being annoying.
I think so, yeah. And if they manage to do that, integrate it into these things, well, YouTube has already had a very aggressive advertisement push recently. So I'm sure both of you noticed this too. They will add in like, hey, how do you want to do when you live stream? Do you want to add in ads every like 30 minutes? Is the most you can push it off?
Yeah, and I actually have to, like many people don't know, but I actually have to sit in the live stream back room and always like after 30 minutes, like I cancel the ads.
No,
I'm not kidding. Like I do this. Do you not do this like right now?
No, at the moment I'm just letting it run because I'm not gonna fight against this. Like, they're just gonna remove the cancel button at some point, anyways.
Well, when they remove the cancel button, they remove the cancel button. But at least I don't put my viewers to subject them to that, you know.
So here's the thing: like you can manually trigger ads, right? So I just rather than having it do it automatically, I just trigger them whenever I go to the washroom, right, or take a break. I'll just be like, okay, I'll run an ad while I'm going away for 2 minutes. I'll just run an ad, and then like YouTube's happy, I'm happy. The audience, I mean, I'm not there anyway, so.
So I just let it play.
Yeah.
I'm not resisting this because.
Do you think your audience is happy when you do that to them?
There is.
It's better than it happening in the middle of the actual stream.
I see.
There is also another form of monetization, which I don't know if you guys have turned on, but it's the super thanks system, where people can give you super chat on videos.
Yeah.
Well, V, that makes you a shill.
Yep, I've seen those. Yeah.
That is a superior moral being. V.
How is it different than going to my Patreon and donating, Arch?
It just is, okay? I'm not going to explain myself to you.
You can't.
So you don't like seeing a comment with like money on it then?
Yeah, no, I don't like that. Because like at least with a super chat, I feel like I'm working for it. At least I have to read it, like maybe a response.
And not to mention, like what you can do is you have like a bar where you can see the people that donated super thanks to you and you can respond to them. Like I do that.
Actually, I will have a system that we're gonna start reading that for donation goals for when people want me to play fucking scary video games for some fucking reason. But the thing is, I'm making that in part because YouTube has announced that super thanks will be mandatory. So there will be no not having super thanks.
Well, hold on. I actually remember something. And many of the people here don't know that, but I do remember that when super chats were introduced, you didn't really like them very much.
I fucking hate them.
Like it took a while.
It took
for you
me
to come
a good year and a half to turn on super chats because I don't.
So
I view it as a potentially abusive thing, and it's too much e-thought in it too. Because the moment you start turning that on, the temptation is to try and chase it.
Okay, so hold on. Chat. Arch obviously disapproves of all the money that you're giving him, so I want you to redirect to my channel real quick and start sending it over there instead, okay?
Yeah, but
Chat, I want to point out that I am the one that revealed this, so if you could redirect it to my channel instead, that would be great.
And V, you're Romanian. But most of this comes from
Romanians don't need super chats. Like I have no shame in taking super chats or super thanks, Arch.
For me, it's a traumatic experience from my childhood, where a friend I went to school with, because this has been around for ages. There used to be television shows on the fucking TV where they'd put an attractive little teen, and they'd essentially do what we're doing. They'd talk about random shit, and you could send them money via SMS. Fucking phone messages.
Yeah, they had that here as well, yeah.
Yes, that was the thing. It was super chats before super chats were a thing.
Yes.
And one of the people I went to school with spent like $1,000 on that from their parents' credit card.
Yeah, we have that
Oh my
with
God.
e-thoughts now, Arch. Yeah, that's
Yes,
Not just
exactly.
e-thoughts, you have it with like Fortnite upgrades and Roblox and shit too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because the moment you do that, you encourage.
I really hate this line of thinking. I know where you're going, and I
See,
hate it.
And
It-
it encouraged bad actors to try
Yes,
and
but-
make
but-
make
but
the
that's-
most of the system, and it annoys
Yeah,
me.
but that's the argument. Like, we should ban this because there might be that retard
Yes.
which does this.
Yes.
I don't like
Yes,
that. I don't
oppress
no.
people. No, okay. We need
No.
to enforce a moral
No.
standard. Enforced moral
It's like
standards.
we need to ban hentai because there's a person that can't control themselves and is a chronic masturbator. I don't fucking care. Okay? Like, if you have an issue, just you are
No.
one that's
See, that's the thing. If you're a chronic masturbator, I have no moral condemnation of you. Like, we should ban things about
but
our
like,
own
the
moral
chronic
lines.
masturbator-
Not
you don't understand that. The chronic masturbator himself will go and will say, "Well, porn needs to be banned because I can't stop jerking off." And I'm like, "Well, that sounds like a you
Then I'll
problem."
press him too.
But yes, you need to oppress him, of course.
Yes.
But my point is, like, the solution isn't to ban things because there might be a person
Service
that
No. The
guarantees
solution
control
absolutely is
themselves.
to ban things. We're like enforced moral
Okay.
standards on
Fine,
everybody.
fine. If we ban this, what do you like that should be banned? Right? Like, 'cause
Nothing.
everyone
I'm
that-
arguing for my benefit here.
Well, yeah, there you go, right? Like, everyone that wants to ban things, like, the moment you say, all right, well, if you think it's so dangerous to society and we ban it, what exactly do you willing to trade? And no one is willing to trade because they know the things they want to ban are that detrimental to society.
Because this is a power argument. Nice and simple.
But aren't you justifying to ban the
Up
super chats
here,
which you're using right now?
On my moral high horse, I am saying that this is a terrible thing and a product of Satan's own imagination.
Service guarantees citizenship.
But why aren't you using super chats and you're advocating to ban them? I do not understand you.
Yes, because at some point Satan wins, and the only way to deal with it is to destroy all of it.
So basically, what you're saying is like it's not about super chats. It's like
It's
You
about
don't want
enforced
other
moral
people to use
standards.
super
Yeah.
chats.
See, again, a responsible super chat stuff. I'm fine if we could guarantee that everyone who uses super chat is an adult. Yes. If we had facial scanning, we need to introduce China legislation in. Little video camera on your computer that scans your facial patterns and recognizes you as an adult, etc. That's what we
you
need.
must be an adult Arch to use super chats.
Service
Like,
guarantees
you need a
There must
credit
be an
card
adult to
use
go
it.
to a porn site. When were you born? 2000? You can't do that. Okay, 1903.
In my opinion,
Wait, you can do it in 2000 now, Arch. It's 2023.
God
lost.
damn it.
I mean,
We're getting
let's
older.
be honest. I don't think underage people should use the internet to begin with. So if you're advocating
Exactly.
to ban,
I agree entirely. Okay, moral repression of the vast majority of the population. Until
No
you're
internet till you're 18.
18, fuck that, 20.
no, because
So, Arch-
people between 18 and 20 still give me super chats. So no,
No. 20.
If you can't use a
20,
credit card, you
okay?
shouldn't be
Because
on the internet.
18, you're too horny to be allowed on the internet. You're only going to use it for porn.
Yeah, but then they
Arch-
buy my video
Guaranteed
game. Arch, why are you attacking my
Okay,
customers?
plus,
Shut
we
the fuck
gotta
up.
encourage people to buy old titty magazines, okay? That's a failing industry.
So Arch, you sound like the old Puritans who would like march into the casino and destroy the slot machines.
Is that a
Because
thing?
like,
did that
no
happen?
one can gamble because it's against our religion.
Yes.
Is that a thing that happened? Oh my god.
Or like when Jesus walked into the temple and like flipped the table. It's like
Yes. Yes, I am Jesus.
No,
Thank
like,
you.
no, the
Thank you,
thing- the
Dad.
thing
no, none
with
of you
Jesus-
are free
I
from
am
sin.
Jesus.
No, but the thing with Jesus, right? At least he wasn't saying like you can't sell merchandise. He was saying you can't sell it at the fucking temple, right? Like he was being reasonable about that shit.
Here, Arch, I'll get you the meme. Hold on.
I am simply stating that moral absolutism is good. So long as
Hold this
I'm
up,
the
Arch.
one,
Pull this image up.
I'm the one enforcing it. Oh god, a Reddit thread. You fucking. Okay, fine.
None of you are free from sin.
People are astonished at this doctrine, but it was an effective goddamn doctrine, wasn't it?
Where he just came along and just struck everyone down.
We need more oppressive morality.
I have lost.
See, you know, I think the Middle East is onto something with the police of vice and virtue. I think we should maybe, you know, adopt some of that over here in the West. I think it has advantages.
It has some pretty
I have
serious
lost.
disadvantages too, Arch.
Yeah, but they won't be suffered by me.
I don't know. You also like your big titty girls.
Sure, but that's not a moral thing I'm going to argue against. That's fine. That's
it's not.
moral.
Okay.
I need to write down my doctrines on moral philosophy at some point and absolutism. It will be arbitrary, like all true religions are, and it will revel in it.
Service guarantees citizenship.
For example, okay, here. The other story, right? The Apex Legend, EA, decided to ban somebody for saying STFU, for shut the fuck up. So that's now a bannable offense.
STFU.
We
Man.
consider
Hate
this to be
speech, is it?
harassment. You can no longer play EA games on this account. And I just want to point out too, this is what I've been complaining a lot about. This is what's the name? Legalizing via terms of service. Well, you're not allowed to do this. Right? You know, this person has bought stuff on their account. They probably got quite a few dollars worth of actual value on their EA account of games, and EA has the ability to just take that away from them. Like, this is not something that is legal in any other medium.
So, yeah, for saying STFU in Apex Legends chat, he lost his entire EA account and all the associated games.
Imagine
it's
that.
fucking
Like,
ridiculous.
the people use this example all the time because it's a good example, right? The fucking phone companies don't get to do this to you. The construction company doesn't get to build you a house, and then you say the N-word, and then go like, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir, we're gonna have to tear down your house now." Like, what? The people who sell you a computer can't do this. Literally nobody can do this but the gaming industry. The gaming industry gets to get away with this.
Well,
And
actually, no. So, are you aware of smart houses?
oh god, that was a story, wasn't it? The
That was the story. Yeah. So, like, this person, they had their house connected to Amazon, right? So everything in their house was operated in a smart way. And apparently, they had like this guy delivering stuff to them, and he thought he heard the N-word coming from inside the house. So he filed a complaint with Amazon. Amazon terminated this guy's account, so he couldn't open the door anymore. He couldn't turn on the lights. He couldn't do most of the things that smart houses do. He had to file a complaint. He had to file a counterclaim with Amazon, and he had to wait for several days.
Heresy
And
is the
even then, his
question.
ticket got
Fire is
escalated.
the
So
answer.
the only reason that he managed to get his account back is because he proved that when the N-bomb allegedly dropped, there was no one home. But the way the Amazon worked is like, okay, so you have like an accusation without any proof, anything. They will terminate the account, and then you have to prove your innocence. Like, what type of fucked
hold
up
on.
system is that?
Forget about proving your innocence. You should be able to drop as many N
Well,
bombs
yeah,
as
I mean,
you
it's
want.
your house, right? Like
Yes.
it's...
you are legally allowed to do so. But the best part is, what happened was the Amazon delivery driver. Okay, it wasn't the guy who sent in this complaint. It was the
Service
Amazon
guarantees
delivery
citizenship.
driver thought he heard an M-bomb detonate inside the
Yes.
house
like he thought he heard. It's the
Yes.
most disgusting thing ever. Yeah. So
and sent a
But the
complaint
thing
to
is,
Amazon to turn off his house.
the thing with what you're saying with like the video game industry, I don't think they can pull that shit in the European Union though. Like the European Union doesn't give a fuck about your TOS and your license agreement and shit. You can't just terminate someone's service because he said STFU.
One of the things the EU is doing is it's actually starting to crack down on Silicon Valley companies. Just like no. If you're going to operate in the EU, you're going to do these. You're going to do things by certain standards. You're going to make sure there's like a certain level of equal access for all citizens. You're going to like they went after like the USB standard. They made sure that like everything has to use USB-C going forward. Like the EU is like aggressively pushing some sort of universalization of these services within their territory.
Yes. And once the state can shut you out of your house, they won't need to let Amazon do so.
Correct.
The entire story was retarded, though, because Apparently, the doorbell, like when somebody comes up to the door, like this guy's a bit of a security freak too, isn't he? Microsoft engineer, so he probably earns a fuckload of money, right? Ass loads of security cameras and everything. And his doorbell goes, "Excuse me, can I help you?" And presumably the Amazon driver heard that and went like, "Well, that's a racial slur for some reason." And shut down his house, which he then had to prove, not to a court, mind you, he had to prove to Amazon that no N-bombs had been detonated in the vicinity.
You know what? I'm actually glad. I mean, serves him right. If you're going, everything that's smart, it means spyware,
Yes.
right? So when you talk about smart houses, smart cities, it literally means spyware. If you're going to make your house a spyware device and give the keys to a company that you have no control over, you deserve it, unironically.
Well, here's what you should do. If you want the convenience of having a smart house, you should jailbreak your devices just like you would a phone.
Yes.
Well, that's illegal too now, probably.
Not yet. What it does is it makes it so you no longer have protection of warranty. But as long as you know what you're doing, you're pretty much in the clear.
Well, there you go. So no mean words in Apex Legends. Not even STFU, because
The
this
thing
is bad.
that pisses me off though is like, when feminists say that men don't cry, and if you don't cry, then they freak out. Men should be able to be toxic. Like, being toxic is part of being a man. It is the reality, right? and I want to be toxic in a safe environment where I
okay.
don't hurt anyone, which is a
The
video
issue
game.
is, this has to do with acceptable moral standards, right? Because I was in the cinema the other day watching Napoleon, and the local internet company in Norway has an ad that runs in the cinemas. And it's oh my god, here's a female streamer. Let's look at all of the abuse she gets on the internet. It's like 9 out of 10 women are abused. And it's like, you're a woman? Get back to the kitchen. It's like, yes. 9 out of 10 human beings on the internet receive abuse. In fact, I would like to meet the 10th person and ask, what the fuck do you play?
No. See, my solution is very simple. My solution is very simple to the problem. Have servers that are with people that want to be abused and abuse others.
No.
Yes.
No.
Why not? Why not?
No choice. Moral absolutism, yet again. Whenever you log on to any internet service whatsoever, the first word coming out of your speaker should be, "Hello, cockfucker. Are you an asshole? Are you? You're fat? You're a bastard, aren't you?" Just a tirade of slurs calling you it still search through your internet history to find the worst things to call you. Like, it's only perfect if it reduces you to tears every time you log on, okay? Because it needs to harden your fucking ass. You need to get on the internet and accept the fact they're going to be called a dickhole.
It's a power trip, right? Like, they can justify the morality like you want in order to oppress others, and it feels good. My point is, if you were to have my system, like let's say it would actually work, right? Like, every single female on the internet, every single female VTuber would be able to opt in whether or not people can use a potty mouth on her or not. I guarantee to you, every single Twitch streamer would allow people to say shit to her, because if you don't, the competition will get more viewers. They will get more super chats. They will get more money. You will see how women literally turn out the harassment button on, because they will be like, okay, well, I can have my chat sanitized, right, and I will get less people watching. But then my competition, the other VTuber, she doesn't do that, and there's a lot more people interested.
Do you think Hassan Piker is going to turn on that button?
Of course, everyone is.
No, most people will simply just start censoring at that point. Not to mention, the moment you add in a censorship option, the activists will just say, well, there you go, that's what we need now. Like, studies have shown 98% less toxicity.
There already is a censorship option.
This is why,
censorship
instead,
is the norm now.
Moral absolutism. Like, you are arguing for further censorship, I am arguing for absolute freedom.
But okay, fine.
My position is vastly superior. You should have to call yourself a fat loser to log on to the internet. Eventually we'll get there where it'll just be a jingle. It'll just be a dozen N-bombs after each other. And if you can sit through it, you get to play Apex Legends. There you go.
I love the thing. It's like, oh my god, you want less censorship so you can say the N-bomb, and I'm like, okay, South Park said it, rap music says it, so fucking what?
It has to do with the principle of the thing.
Why is this so mystical?
Because it's banned. That's why. Simple as.
Yeah, literally, it is bad. That's why it's mystical. I
Simple
like that
as.
fucking-
If they were to allow it, it wouldn't be interesting anymore.
Unironically.
Yeah. The best way to end the terror of the N is to.
Yeah, but
to
it's
just
not about
embrace
fighting
it.
against the word, right? Like that's the thing.
Oh, we have solved the mystery. To be fair, it wasn't much of a mystery either. Right, let me get back to some of the super chats. Oh, look at that. That's the advertisement thing. I'll press skip ad on that one for now. McCall11 says, please give us whole lore of V sex theory.
I do not know what my sex theory is. You
The
gotta be a little
sex
bit more.
theory.
Marksman of 117B, despite Star Wars worth, Disney lost money on the IP. They did, because they've been managing to severely reduce its worth, especially in terms of, products. The Real Holsteiner says, to be fair, Anne Frank is way more of a man than Will Smith. That is true as well. Has he been rehabilitated from the slap heard around the world yet, or is he still persona non grata?
I think he actually did get a couple of roles. I'll have to check. He's a good actor, though. I'm not going to lie. Like, Will Smith actually acts.
Let's see. No, I don't see any further hit pieces, so I think he's gotten over it. Oh, apparently he cheated on his wife, but hey, considering who his wife was, that's hardly...
Yeah, I mean, didn't his wife cheat on him as well?
Yeah, you can't really blame him for that. Turnabout's fair play and all that. Adam Unfriended says, I see V and Dev have lost in No Nut November, and one should trust a commie and a reformed furry that has a dummy mom fixation on what media should have and what's appealing. I love all chest sizes, but the medium is premium.
Sounds good.
Sounds bad, but I mean, I'm not going to help people who are wrong.
Alex Adamson says, a lot of Germans and Austro-Hungarians, oh boy, were captured in China by the Japanese during World War I. However, while they were imprisoned, they were just allowed to wander around and mingle with the locals. That is because the Japanese in the First World War were a lot more mellow than those during the Second World War. That is a whole thing I need to do a video on at some point, explaining why the Japanese went from, like, the picture-perfect example of warfare chivalry to absolute crazy dissect the Chinese to figure out how smallpox works level. Because that's a rather fascinating.
What's the short version? Yeah, what's the short version of it?
The media did it.
They
Okay.
demonized the enemy.
No.
Yeah.
They demonized their allies. They demonized the white man. Unironically.
Okay.
Yep. The Japanese media said that Japan was screwed out over their gains during World War I because they didn't really get anything out of it. They also talked about how the West was screwing them out of their rightful conquests against the war with Russia, for example. That was shortly before World War I, and anti-Western sentiment grew very quickly in Japan. And this also fostered the Japanese as the chosen people idea, where they started canceling intellectuals who spoke against it, and they grew into more and more purity spiral doctrine, when eventually all people had come from Japan, and that the white man in particular had lured the other races from the suzerainty of the Japanese people. It's it's quite the story.
It's basically what happened to the Italians then.
Kind of.
The main reason the Italians joined the side of the Germans in World War II is because they had been cucked by the Allies in World War I.
Yes, but with an even longer backstory. There was also the fact that America, of course, was crushing them economically and very deliberately as well, which, didn't earn them any favors, obviously. But Japan's march to World War II is an interesting one, and it gets really crazy, some of the stuff they believed.
I mean, to be honest, the America is guilty for forcing them to open up because they were like an isolationist nation. They didn't want to do business with.
They
the
weren't
outside
bothering
world.
anybody, and then the Americans were like, "Nope, you
Yeah.
will declare
Let's
war
bring
on
the black
China."
ships.
Peterly.
Let's bring the black ships. Yeah.
It wasn't Commodore Perry. And he shows up and he's like, "You're gonna trade with us now," and it's like, "Well, I guess we are. Fuck."
The
Savage
black
Raging
ships are
says, "Dev is
one
never correct."
of the
He just gets
like
lucky
there are
sometimes.
there are two events which have managed to scar the Japanese psyche, like culturally speaking. To this day, you still have. One of them is the nuclear bombs, and it's understandable. Like today, you can't have nuclear stuff on Japanese television. Like it's censored.
Fallout was censored in Japan. Yeah.
Yes. And even on Attack on Titan, they had to really struggle to get like that nuclear explosion when the Colossal transforms.
Yeah.
And the second one is the black ships. The black ships are when the Americans came to Japan, wanted to trade, the Japanese didn't. So, like, we're talking about a feudal nation, right? Like, kind of technologically level. And they did so much damage to that port that, again, like, it scarred the psyche of an entire population. And you have, like, paintings with that event even now. Like, if you Google black ships in Japan, you'll see what I'm talking about.
I mean, it basically the Japanese realized, oh shit, like we can't actually be isolationist because the rest of the world has advanced and they have superior weaponry now, and we need to catch up, or else we're fucked.
To be
Oh,
fair,
so
the
they-
We'll just be
Chinese
conquered.
went through the same stuff. They call it the century of humiliation because they
Yep.
thought they're the center of the world as well. Which they were. Like many people traded with China. It was like the Middle Kingdom. Until the British came and they brought
Yeah.
the century of
I mean,
humiliation to them.
Well, yeah, the British showed up and it's like, hey, do you want to, learn how to use modern firearms, or do you want any of this technology? And they were just like, no, fuck you. It's like, oh
Yeah.
well, I mean,
Well-
we can also overrun you. Yeah. Arch, didn't you and I have like an argument a year ago where you seem to believe that like the Americans provoked Japan into a war?
They did.
I don't know if I buy that.
They did. They forced them to.
I don't know.
The
I don't know about
Japanese were
that.
having fun in China, not bothering anybody, and the Americans had to get involved.
Well, hold on. So yeah, like the Americans refused to trade with Japan. Yes, that's true, right? And that hurt the Japanese economy. But Arch, what was Japan doing in China?
Nothing.
That caused the Americans to do that?
Nothing that
Nothing?
America had any business with.
I don't agree
Plus,
with that. I think
America's
no.
doctrine of interfering against Japan started after the Russo-Japanese War. There was a lengthy campaign of trade blockade against Japan.
Yeah, it seemed like it might have been justified
No,
because they were just having fun in Japan.
they
in
were.
China.
And what's the primary threat today, Dev?
China, yes. That's true.
Yeah.
Well, listen, that was only because
That was only because no.
No.
Dev.
That was because
If-
America was too cucked to finish the job in after the Korean War. They should have actually done the Belt of Cobalt
Exactly.
plan.
Yeah, no, precisely. But if we'd allowed the Japanese to finish, we wouldn't be in this fix right now, would we?
Service guarantees
Hold on.
citizenship.
Yeah, they wanted the Japanese to finish.
Yeah, if we'd given them a few more years. Like, listen, it would have been perfect, okay? Japan and China would have continued their war for another half-decade. Both would be exhausted, and neither one would be any threat to the rest of the world. Instead, America had to get involved, and look at our situation now.
Listen, that's just because America didn't go far enough.
America truly is the root of all evil.
Now, the point is though, is that I'm not sure the Japanese were innocent. It seemed like they deserved those sanctions against them.
Heresy's the question. Fire is the answer.
Your racism against the Japanese people will never cease
I
to
work with a lot
confound
of
and
Japanese
astonish me.
artists, so I have to disavow what Dev said. I
Yep.
don't believe that.
That's fine. That's fine.
The
we
majority
should have
is
just
against Dev.
We should have just kept on colonizing them and then exported all of their women to the West. Would have been great.
Dev has been put in his place. So John says the 1350 crime statistics are the same in the UK as they are in the US, particularly in London. I have no idea what these statistics are. YouTube. Reverend North says V people live next to train tracks and airports. That's also true.
That's not my fucking point. I'm not
Yeah, it
saying
is.
that you can't get used to a sound, but I'd
Service
say you can
guarantees
still hear it.
citizenship.
You can live next to an airport, but you still hear the planes, even if you can like, I don't know, like tune them out. You can still say yes, a plane is flying by right now. But the people with the chirp, they literally do not fucking hear the chirp.
Raining Tennis says V, it's okay to be wrong about booba sizes. I don't know if
No,
it's okay.
they're wrong. It's fine. I'm surrounded by people who are wrong, so. I'm getting used to
Charles Dougherty. I had to super chat this because it must be said, tomboy is a personality type, not a body type. Don't care size as long as it all matches. No shelf butts.
That's true.
It has to have a certain aesthetic as well.
No.
I think so. Yeah, no, definitely it does.
No.
It absolutely does.
Like, hold on, I'll show you an example.
No, your example has been rejected before it's even been made. Zero says, I disavow all this flat supremacy. Oh, some people are wrong. And Sir John says, everything Kathleen Kennedy is involved with involved a self-insert of her. Star Wars, Indiana Jones, etc., etc. Well, you know.
That one has big tits and is a tomboy, Arch.
She needed to be on the television.
V, make one of your characters a nice girl.
He already does. All of them are nice girls.
Exactly.
He's just too blinded to see it.
Okay. Someone in the chat said that. So someone in the chat said that's another Twitter gold take. All men who like Asians are secret pedos. Yeah. So like this is kind of related to the all men who like anime are secret pedos thing. There's an extension of it where like if you're a white guy with an Asian girl, or you've dated an Asian girl, or you have an Asian girlfriend or something, or you like Asian women, you're like a secret pedophile. Because
I have a question for you.
Fuck.
Between my girls and the toxic masculinity Hollywood girls, which are better?
Mm-hmm. Well, your
my girls or Brie Larson?
Obviously your girls, yeah.
I thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I remember when I was dating an Asian girl in college, there was definitely like a few Western girls who they didn't call me a pedo, but they were like, listen, you're just a fucking loser, and no girl would actually date you, Dev. But you managed to get someone who was fresh off the boat because she doesn't know any better. It's like, Jesus Christ, like there's like hatred of men, hatred of nerdy guys, hatred of me specifically, hatred of Asians. Like there's a lot wrapped up in some of the shit that I got for dating an Asian girl back when I was younger.
But who the fuck cares though?
Well, it was brought up in the
Considering
chat.
your incredible racism against the Japanese, I find this remarkable as well.
Listen, Arch. She was into it. It was fine.
Of course she was into it, but like, if you're dating a woman and other women complain, who the fuck cares?
Drakazod said, there are no fat tomboys. Your argument is invalid, Charles. True, there are no fat tomboys. Zero says, I'm offended by this big boob phobia. Dev might be afraid of big tits.
It is quite
it's
offensive,
possible.
yes.
McCall11 says, at Dev, is your project to eat the PC parts? It presumably is. Or to put them in the microwave and see if it makes any pretty sparks. Zedikai, I forgive Godzilla for portraying Americans as evil most of the time because they also gave us Galen in Invasion of Astro Monster.
I have
it was the heart of that film. Terryman and Chibudes are also great. I do not know who these are. But I do know that Godzilla is the good guy. Burn Burnson says, for fuck's sake, if he stopped making Devil look reasonable... And Zero says, Force Heal should have never left the games. And difference between 223 and 556 millimeter rounds, V.
How would I know?
I don't know. Google it.
I genuinely don't know. So what is it, like 2 millimeter and what?
223 and 5.56.
But one is bigger, one is smaller, right?
I I don't know about that, V. I
They
think
look
they're
the
pretty
fucking
much
same.
exactly the same size, actually.
Why are they the same though? And they have different numbers.
I don't know why they have different numbers, but I'm pretty sure they're roughly the same size.
Yeah, and I'm looking at a picture. Like, I wouldn't be able to tell which is which.
Well, one is made in Europe, the other one is
Small
made in
difference,
America.
big impact, apparently.
Shadowfox2300 says, more than a few blue-on-blue stuff has been done between A and American forces because of how they treat dogs. We nearly did a few times because
Okay,
of that.
I know the difference. I know the difference. One is for civilian use, the other is for military use. So, one is for AR-15, and the other one, I don't know what the fuck is it for. But yeah, it's metric versus American.
There you go. I would imagine, yes, that the cultural differences between one nation that likes dog and one nation that hates dog could be spicy. Yes.
Mm.
Rain Tennis says, the red woman took the dog pill. Awful. He didn't take the dog pill. He created the dog pill. Dev is the dog pill. He's the personification of the dog pill. He is its physical form on this earth. And currently is on the toilet again.
A sequel to that video is
Service
coming, by the way.
guarantees citizenship.
Kyle Ziza says, hello, our Lord and Savior, Arch, V, and Dev. The D&D episode was great, but Saga needs to step his game as a GM. Step his game. Step up, I'm guessing. Or down, maybe. There will probably be D&D tomorrow, incidentally. Probably.
Yes, it's been rescheduled 4 fucking times, but finally tomorrow we'll have our this week's session.
Why don't
I
people
can't
like
wait to
Stargon's
see.
DMing Arch? Like, why do you think that is a problem?
Well, I can't.
like it.
I just want to see Rags kill more people. Is
I
that
don't like
so
the
wrong?
fact that he doesn't allow alternative solutions. Like, for instance, he wants you to kill the cat. Why can't you poison the cat instead?
Your
hold on.
alternative solutions are retarded.
V, keep in mind, okay, you wanted to fight the non-hostile NPC old man, and then the actual combat encounter, you wanted to not fight it.
Wait, I did not.
Like, you
fight-
always
where-
seem to go
where-
against the grain.
Where did I want to fight the wizard? Number one, and number two, I specifically remember you getting killed in that encounter. It's like his D&D rules that you don't fucking die. But if it was like a cyberpunk or some shit, you would have had to re-roll a new character now, Dev.
Yeah, it's fine. It's okay. We're
Yeah,
having
but
fun.
it's fine. Had you
Yeah.
listened to me, you would still be alive.
I am alive.
And I never wanted to fight the old
Service
man. Where are you
guarantees
getting this from?
citizenship.
You had like a couple of, the old V murder hobo itch was coming back. when we entered
I
that town.
specifically remember doing what my character is supposed to do, which is roll charisma to
Hey,
persuade them to give me
hold on.
the actual things. Yeah.
V, wasn't
Yeah.
one of your ideas to figure out which house he was in and burn the house down?
No.
Well,
Yes.
okay, though.
That
No.
sounds familiar.
Yeah, I think
If
so.
you can go, okay, if you can go and find me at which minute I suggested that, I'll change my mind. But I'm specifically sure I didn't do that.
I'm
I
pretty
don't,
sure
I
you
don't
did.
even have spells to burn it down.
Well, let's figure out where he lives and just burn his house down.
But no, like, let's figure out where he lives so we can talk to him, Arch. I don't know where you got the second part from.
I think V might be gaslighting.
I think
Anyways,
if I was
Fox
saying
says,
something-
my Eve question. Having a sweet answer it. Well, I'm not going to make an Eve goddamn guild. That's obvious. Eve is a second job. Jesus, no. And so John says, a Petroglyph is doing an RTS called 9-Bit Armies. Yes, but Petroglyph is crap at making video games. So, no. Simple as. Honestly, Petroglyph has created nothing but ass, okay? Nothing but ass. And if they make something good in the future, I'll reevaluate my position. But up until then, ass. Emperor Cretin says, Dev, please stop trying to insert sexual tension in
Service
place it doesn't
guarantees
exist. Do I have to
citizenship.
tap the sign with C.S. Lewis quote on it? Dev.
Are you fucking okay? This is in reference to Bayonetta, right?
Yep. Everything
Okay.
doesn't have to be lesbian, Dev.
But these two were.
No, Dev.
No, they absolutely were.
No, Dev. Dev, they
Yeah,
were
you
having
didn't,
us.
you didn't
They,
even play Bayonetta.
I haven't. That's true.
No, they're okay. Oh my god. I'm gonna find a fucking picture for you.
Yeah.
Just no. No,
They were good
wait.
friends, Dev.
No,
Why
they
must you
weren't.
Make this weird, Dev.
Because the game made it weird. It was always that.
Mm. Shame says Derek Chauvin got shanked in prison. Oh, really now?
Damn. And everyone is like, oh, well, good. So my question is
wait,
like,
he
okay,
did?
police,
Oh my God.
police violence. Did you notice this, by the way? Like, whenever a criminal, and I'm not talking about Floyd, I'm talking like, in
So
general, like,
this appears to be a rumor at the moment, mind you, according to the internet. But yes, there's a rumor going around that Derek Chauvin was stabbed in prison.
whenever a criminal gets roughed up by a cop, even if he deserves it, like for example,
Here, Arch.
there was that case with the girl that tried to stab another girl, so the cop shot her to defend the other one, right? Like, clear case of legal use of force. Everyone is like, no, the cop is bad. Like, the cop is bad under any circumstance. But
Yep.
but when a criminal does something, oh, then it's justified. It's mind-boggling, bizarre, the morality that people on Twitter use.
Well, this morality isn't particularly mind-boggling. Derek Chauvin is probably the single most hated man in America.
But yeah, but it's not about him. It's like it happens regardless of the person.
Well, stabbed by an inmate and seriously injured Friday at a federal prison in Arizona. So this one says that it did happen. Others say that he was allegedly stabbed, so I don't know. And the prison confirms that an incarcerated
Service
person was
guaranteed
assaulted.
citizenship.
Okay, so there's like a little bit of fuzziness, but probably. Well, I guess we'll have to investigate whether or not the stabber has any connection to Hillary Clinton.
Okay.
Kyle Caesar says, Arch, I was planning to DM a game, supposing a game of 40k for my friends. What system do you think is better, especially for newcomers? Rogue Trader. Undoubtedly, Rogue Trader. Go with Rogue Trader. Rogue Trader is the better system. Rogue Trader, good. You don't have to make it about Rogue Traders either, but use the Rogue Trader system. It's better. Marksman117B says they've gone after Rosa for being minor coded. Why not? I do like the term coded now. Minor. Who the fuck is V? You little V. Rosa.
What?
V.
Yeah.
Rosa. You
What about
introduced me to Rosa.
Yeah, so did you feel that she's minor coded?
No?
Okay. Then why the fuck are you screaming at me? Like if some lunatic from a fucking asylum calls you something, are you going to blame me for it now?
Well,
Am I
you said,
responsible
who's
for every
Rosa?
single insane person on the fucking internet, Arch?
You said, who's Rosa, though?
Yes, so.
Zero asks, where does Berserk sit on safe edgy? It doesn't. It's just edgy, I think. I don't think Berserk would be very safe for the current generation. In fact, I think it would be very anti-safe. Alex says, here's $5 to praise all of you for just ignoring and skipping over Jim. It's not a fetish, Sterling and Zero Drama. Well, it's not really anything to commentate on. It's like, yes, Stephanie Sterling thinks she's pregnant. Oh, there you go. End of story. Animate Acumen says, no, the AC ads were happening to some people mid-gameplay as well. The one I saw was that it happened when he opened the map. So maybe it happened also in the middle of the game. Now that'd be funny. You're engaging in combat and the video game's like, hello, would you like to purchase something? That'd be good. Gets you killed. Then asks you if you want to power up. Mark Shame says in-game ads would work in a cyberpunk setting. It would. Like, honestly, I'm not even opposed to the idea of in-game advertisement, as in billboards or stuff, or television commercials in the game. I'm fine with that, especially if it makes the game
Heresy's
cheaper.
the
If it
question.
doesn't make the
Fire
game
is the
cheaper,
answer.
then, well, fuck off. McWall11 says, Assassin's Creed VR is the only interesting. F the rest. I have no idea. I have not played
I have lost.
Does sound cool, though. Mark James says Google Chrome now flags adblock extension as malware. I'm convinced the worst viruses and malwares are made by big tech corpos, not basement hackers. Haven't had that happen to me yet, but yes, that will happen. Again, YouTube and Google are going to go to war with ad blockers, and they are going to win. For the simple reason that they're Google and YouTube and have infinite power. You may fight it if you will. In fact, believe that a lot of you will try, and you will lose. And then you'll come looking to me like, Arch, you were right, and I'll be yes. Simple. It was proven, incidentally, that the delay to Firefox was fake news. So they're not actually adding in 5-second delays to Firefox yet. But it is well within their power to start doing something like that. The Hillian Juggalo says, Dev, I will only redirect after you provide truck. Well, there you go.
Okay,
Dev.
sounds good.
You can have Superchats if you take the L. Dev has no comment to that. Burn Burnson says, Archley, you talk about the temptation to chase Superchats while on a stream with two people you bring on because their takes generate Superchats. Yeah, I can see that point of view. See, that's the thing. When you're in the middle of the game, you're gonna have to play the game, I suppose. And Super Chats are very nice. I'm very grateful for them. They are an incredibly good source of revenue. In fact, they're one of the best, if not the best source of revenue on YouTube. But I'm still more than willing to morally condemn people who use Super Chats. I have learned from the left that it is entirely possible to hold two mutually exclusive positions at the same time. And so I should take advantage of this. Actually, I do have slightly more sophisticated ideas around this, but I think it needs to bumble around in my head for a while still, because I did happen upon an interesting point in the Empire Total War stream the other day. Basically, we're going to have to charge all of you the money to access the internet and use that to pay fat Canadian communists. Don't worry, it won't suck anywhere near as much as it sounds, I promise. What?
I gotta go.
God damn it, V.
It is what it is.
Wait, V, before you leave.
Nani.
Hold on.
Nani
Hold
Dev
the
Sama.
fuck on. Hold the fuck on. Okay. Here.
Let me see.
Where's hold on, I gotta find all my Jesus, I'm in like 100 servers. Okay.
All right.
Here, Arch, pull this up. Pull this up.
Whatever,
This is
looking
from a person who actually worked on Bayonetta 2. And she drew the characters in this position. It gets confirmed. They were a couple in Bayonetta 2.
I am not saying
They're just hugging.
that. Yeah, like my point is that within the game, you could interpret it either way because she does exactly the same with the male character interest.
Yep.
Right. So you can make an argument either or, but whatever the case, she's not a lesbian. She's bisexual at most.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean she's obviously bisexual.
No,
right?
they're obviously
She
straight.
was obviously bisexual in the first game. In the first game.
The
So-
one on top tripped, and the other one fell under, and just holding up the pistol to stop her. They're just friends.
So here's the thing, right? Bayonetta 3 confirmed that in Bayonetta 1 and 2, they were together. However, it's a different timeline, and there's a bunch of timelines that are all intersecting and doing weird shit. And that the main Bayonetta is straight, and so everyone's angry. Oh no, all the progressives are angry about it. Because there's been like article after article after article written about how Bayonetta is a progressive queer icon, and now she's not. So oh well.
Dev,
Yes.
I'm going to bed.
Sounds like fake news, Dev.
Thanks for having me, Arch, and thank you guys for the super chats. We really appreciate it.
Good night,
And
V.
it's still true. If you can contact the lady who made the coffin of Andy and Lele, we would love to have her.
She'll generate super chats too.
She will, yes.
Now, Dev, what is your obsession with trying to force lesbianism into an otherwise a wholesome, and Christian-friendly video game?
Because it's hot.
I don't know about that.
Listen, people in chat are saying that I think Sam and Frodo are gay. No, I don't.
Yep.
No, I don't. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Why do you
See,
think
I
that,
only
though?
do that. I only do this for female friend characters, not male ones, because it's hotter when it's girls.
Well, true, but still. While you hating says, rumors been going around that KK, Kathleen Kennedy, I'm assuming, has it in her contract she can't be fired. Lucas was worried Disney would replace her with one of their puppets. The moment you say a rumor, though, I just start throwing stuff at you at this point, okay? The word rumor has lost all of its value on the internet.
Yeah. Here's how it works, right? You have like one person who gives an like off the record account because he doesn't want to get fired, right? And so he says, so the article says like an anonymous report, or there's a rumor that X happened, right? And it's like, well, that could actually be someone who's speaking anonymously, or it could be complete made up bullshit. You don't know. And then Article 2 references Article 1. And then Article 3 says there's two reports, Articles 1 and 2, that are all saying that. And like basically from one source, you get like an entire media narrative that's spun up. And after about 20 or 30 articles, it seems legit.
There's also the fact that I have serious questions about the moral efficacies of the modern day media, and I think they are not above making shit up when it suits them. And I don't believe that anyone would sign a contract with an employee saying that the employee cannot be fired. I don't believe it. It sounds crazy.
Hold on. I'm getting fucking one guide in the chat here. This person here says, next he'll say Homura is gay from Madoka. She was! That was the whole point of her fucking story!
Dev. Why must you sully the magical girls?
and yes, Ymir really did love Historia and Attack on Titan, yes. These are lesbian relationships, guys. Listen, just because they're gay doesn't mean they're woke. It's fine.
God damn it, Dev. God damn it, Dev. Why must you dig this hole?
I'm like 100% getting one guide by the chat right now.
Raining Ted says Archlay censorship is a massive slippery slope. No. Archlay censorship is a one-stop shop. It'll only go here because it'll be made from my arbitrary decisions. Simple. Zero says, I love democracy, Emperor Palpatine. I love democracy too. I just need to change it a little bit so it functions better. Adoman says, so what you're saying is we need to give super thanks. Well, yes. If you want to fund stuff, you need to give super thanks. I'm going to have Disco set up a system that actually recognizes hashtags, because that way you little bastards can't just be like, oh, you need to play this game. I'm like, okay, but do you actually want me to, or do you just want me to suffer? There you go.
Oh wait, hold on. Arch, is there more topics today, or is this just super chats now?
Super chats.
Okay. I might go see when Dave wants to start my stream tonight. I'll go figure out the start time. I'll be back.
Ah, and he flees. Even as I'm stuck here.
How many more super chats do you have, by the way?
Not that many.
Okay.
Service guarantees citizenship.
McQuell11 says, super thanks is more convenient. Patreon is on my blacklist and Sargon and Yeet. Also, I'd like to give feedback that I appreciate a video existing. Well, fair enough, but still. War Turkify says, aren't wishing for the good old days pouring the sashes in the woods? Kind of yes, okay? Because that requires a certain degree of ingenuity, right? Okay. We need to sexually repress young boys again, all right? When you can just go to Google and search titties for your outlet, it gets way too easy. You've got to go on fucking treasure hunts, okay? We need to get kids out of their bedrooms, out of their houses, wandering the woods in the hope that somebody, somewhere, will have dumped some titty magazines out there, okay? That's an adventure. That's a sense of discovery, you know? That's good. That's good for young boys. We need this. Internet porn should be banned, maybe. Maybe just ban it. Again, return to titty magazines. Because it requires a certain strength of character, okay? It requires a certain independent streak and ability to say, yeah, fuck the world. To pick up a magazine with a nude, big-titted blonde woman on the front of it, particularly if it's nice and fetishy, you know, running mascara, it's like rape special, and go up to the cashier and hand this over to whomever is standing there and go like, this please. It builds character, you see, yes. Many, many problems with modern society can be directly linked back to this, okay? Arch has the solutions to these problems, and he will implement them eventually. Mark11 says, Arch import Sharia police from Sweden? Well, we can't import their religious police, because they come with a lot of ideas of themselves as well. Sammy says, just so I'm in love with the villainess, thank you for giving the heads up. It is a good one. The villainess is destined to die is another good one. Let's see,
Heresy is the question. Fire
let's
is
see,
the answer.
is there... Villains that isn't a die. Wait, is this the one? Yes, it is villains. Villainess. That one. Death is the only end for the will. This one. Yes, this one. This one's quite good. I like this one. This is another good villainess one that people should read. Raining Turner says, I want the Red Woman cast as Anne Frank. He'd be better than Will Smith. He would. He would squeal erotically.
Yeah, Arch, I'm in love with the villainess was something that I recommended last week. It's actually a very good show and a very good manga.
I remember.
Sounds like someone watched it. Yeah.
Which is why I suggested Death is the only ending for the villainess, because it's even better.
Also, it's lesbian.
No.
How can you fucking reject this, Arch, at this point?
Easily. It's Yuri.
What's the difference?
One is wholesome, the other isn't.
Explain.
Very simple. In Yuri, it's just about two characters being like, oh, I love you very much. I love you very much too. And then occasionally they'll hold hands. That's it. Lesbianism, you know, that's riding and scissoring and pounding and all manners of nasty things that produce vast quantities of bodily fluids.
But if you watch, like, Yuri hentai, they do that stuff.
Yeah, but now you're changing the topic. Plus, in many Yuri hentais, they don't do that either. It's all kissing and hugging and shit. As if it's Christian hentai. There you go, yes. Yuri is wholesome, says chat. Precisely. Lesbianism is just porn. Yuri, wholesome. Welcoming.
So, Mr. Cornell said it. It's okay when Arch jacks to it. It's not okay when anyone else does. That's what's actually going on here.
Correct. This is also why BL, yaoi, the opposite of Yuri, is horrible and should be banned.
There's some decent decent yaoi
No. Have you seen the average Fujoshi?
Well, my girlfriend's one of them, so yes.
Oh, Jesus. Well, you're going to have to break up.
Hold on, she just looked over. Naomi, are you a Fujoshi?
Yes.
See, it's fine.
See, I don't make the rules, but that's going to have to be a cancellation right there.
Am I getting canceled for this? No, she's full on into all that stuff, and I'm fine with it. It's okay.
BL is yet another of Satan's tools used to corrupt the youth. And should be banned. Oh, yes, chat reminds me of Boku no Dev. Boku no Dev. Oh, that one's a funny meme. I should make something out of it.
Oh, man. So, back in, I think, 2011 or 2012, Dave and I posted... This was back when we were doing anime content on the channel. We posted a reaction to Boku no Pico seeing it for the first time. What a wild video that was. I think it's still up on BitChute. It can't be on YouTube anymore, but it's still up on BitChute.
Yeah, I imagine that was okay on YouTube for a while, but not now.
Yeah, not nowadays, no.
I need to Photoshop together a Boku no Dev somehow, somewhere, some point. I'm sure I can come up with something. Where was I before Dev started talking about boys' love? Let's see. Ah, here we go. Boycott Worm Plus says, "Hey, large Christ, Savior re-risen. Sabbath Worlds 2024? Probably, yes. I'm having some art done for it now. But it's, I'm still not done with the books. I've still got, I think, 3 or 4 books still. And with the holidays coming up, I am not going to have a chance in fuck to actually sit down and read that. So it's going to be a little while longer. But it'll come eventually. It'll arrive at some point. Frog Jupiter says, "Have you guys seen the Boogie documentary?" I haven't. And honestly, it's internet drama. And Boogie... like, Boogie's not relevant anymore. Boogie has been dragged through the dirt now for like 2 or 3 years. I feel as if adding to it now is tasteless.
I watched part of it. So he's he's in his 40s and he's dating a girl who's 20. And it's kind of strange.
Is my response.
It's kind of strange. It's like, I mean, are you dating him for fame? I mean, there's not much money left in the Boogie bank. So like, is it just for fame, or did you actually fall in love with him? Like, what's... And at the end of the documentary, he takes mushrooms and gets high, and he's like out in the forest taking these mushrooms.
Service guarantee
And
citizenship.
he has like a shaman with him, who's just like some like half Native American stoner, and he's sitting by the campfire and he's like talking to people who aren't there, because there's been some reports that like people who go on certain mushroom trips, that like rewires their brain and they can be, you know, more productive and they're more focused and things like this. I think that's what he was hoping for. And at the end of the documentary, it implies that it worked for him, but we still don't know yet. But yeah, he gets high on camera for the end of it.
Well, that's pretty retarded.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it's really retarded. But I feel like, I don't know, this is one of my moral stoppers. Like, Boogie's dead. Boogie's over. Boogie's been over for a very long time. I feel like taking shots at Boogie now is just kicking the dead horse whilst it's down and his legs are broken. I feel bad about Boogie more than anything at this point. But, you know, other people can make the content they want to make, obviously. I'm not going to pass moral aspersions on that. I might, but... for me, it's utterly uninteresting. I mean, he's probably still doing okay. I mean, he had, like, millions of subs last I checked.
Yeah, but I mean, he gets, like, less views than I do on videos sometimes. There's not much money coming in.
Really?
Let me just double check that. I have lost. Let's see. Shit. Boogie 2988. Yeah, see, he posted a video a day ago that got 12K views. It's like, well.
And how many subscribers does he have now?
4 million.
Oof.
Yeah. 12K views, 21K views, 15K views, 10K views, 19K views, 21, 33, 32. Now, like, yeah, he seems to average about half the views that I get from my videos. So I tend to get between 50 and 100 on a video over the course of like a week. And then it kind of like stabilizes.
Yeah, that's pretty terrible. That's
pretty bad for
4 million subs. Yes, that's pretty
4 million.
Pretty awful. I don't know. He's a boogie, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Meh. The old internet personas must die at some point, I guess. Nothing lasts forever.
That means we're gonna die one day.
Yes.
R.I.P.
I expect you'll die before me, Dev.
Probably, I'm too fat.
Not what I was referring to, but okay. Mark James says, Mike was asking about the Ireland riots. I did see it. I don't know enough about it to really comment. So John says, look up the Jews behind the CCP. It is their fault. Oh my god. The Jewish did communism. 47 Arbuk, tomboyishness is behavior and personality. If you just want the body type, you want a muscle girl, which is different despite the considerable overlap. Muscle Girl, obviously, because that is retarded, and you can use her to defend yourself. Yes. I like that line of thinking. Miss Luckless says, V is correct here. Women with huge tracts of land are the best. I don't know about that. Depends on the quality of the land. It could all be barren desert. Alex Adams says 223 is 0.223 inches, 556 is 5.56 millimeters. Same caliber. Well, there you go. There's no difference. It was a trick question. God, there's like 3 Superchats talking about this. 427 Arbok, 556, the NATO version, loads at a high pressure and is necked differently. 223 will fire from 556 gun, but the inverse is not safe. Well, now I know. I won't do that. I'll forget, but I won't do that. Mostly because Norway has really strict gun laws, and I couldn't own either of them regardless.
Question. Fire is the answer.
Mark17B asks, why does Rags hate lepers? Is he secretly a villain? I believe so. I mean, nobody pushes a leper, a nice, soft, squishy human being with 23 strength, and not wanting to kill him. That's pretty obvious. Zero says, V, difference between the 7.62mm NATO versus 308 Winchester. Nothing? Is there nothing? It's the same round. It's probably the same round again. 47 Arbok says, also, fat tomboys are valid. I will die on this hill. If she acts like a tomboy and likes guy things, she's a tomboy, end of story.
I have lost. Shit.
Nah, you gotta have the aesthetic too. You gotta. Legally required. Legally required. The Hillian Jungler, regarding going further with China, you need to do a video on self-sabotaging occupation dev. The people who want to help Ukraine will scream, why are we here a decade later? It's why Nam was lost. Probably yes. If Ukraine becomes a proper forever war and the West doesn't completely forget about it, which might happen, probably is going to happen actually, there is going to be the exact same people that had Ukrainian flags in their bios. You're going to be like, why are we wasting taxpayer money on this? As the culture begins to shift. But hey, we managed to turn Ukraine into a graveyard for the Russian war machine, so all in all, it was a pretty effective conflict from the West perspective. Mr. Luckless says, does the art show up in game? No, then it doesn't count, Dev. Get that fan art stuff out of here. Yes. Yes, yell at Dev. Yell at him for his lesbian ways. Boog says, nothing sexier than pointing a loaded gun at your significant other. Like in that painting. By the way, that's promo art for the anime. She didn't work on game. Oof. Oof, Dev. Oof. Alex Adams says, Dev is correct. We need to reclaim lesbianism. I see there's some pretty stark battle lines here between lesbianism and Yuriism.
Okay, hold on now. Hold on, all right? Listen. Bayonetta goes to hell to retrieve her soul in the second game, claiming that she can't live without her. And in cutscenes where they're together, they're like rubbing their bodies together and they're like squishing their boobs together, and they're like, no.
Yes.
There's so much romantic tension between them. No, they're they even if they don't actually end up together, they like each other for sure.
Yeah, but that's just a wholesome friendship. Yep. See,
how many female friends actually squish their boobs together?
When they want to attract guys, all the time.
Okay, fair enough.
There you go. Fucking checkmate. Yuri is wholesome, okay? It's cute and darling, and it's full of flowers, and it takes place in a nice, beautiful college or something. You know, everything is lovely, everything is adorable. There are little butterflies flapping next by. That's not lesbianism. Lesbianism is heightened violence in the household. It's abuse. It's domestic violence.
Okay, Mike says Dev Historia did love Ymir, but she did later have Aaron's kid, the farm boys to cover. I actually agree with that, right? So the thing is that Isayama did say that Historia and Ymir were in a relationship. Like that is true. They are in a relationship until, Ymir, not to spoil anything, but basically they're in a relationship, okay? And then later, Historia did have Aaron's kid. That's why Aaron offered to impregnate her. Not because they liked each other, but because Aaron understood that it basically secured her rule as queen to have the son of a Jaegerist. So it was more like they like him impregnating her was more of like a political machination. I don't People keep saying that they actually like each other. I don't think they actually like each other that way. I think it was a political thing. And yeah, she actually loved Ymir. Yes.
Prego for political reasons.
Have you watched all of Attack on Titan yet, Arch?
I read the manga. It's
So
overrated.
like all the way through to the end? So
More
all of it,
importantly,
Arch? Well,
Yuri?
all of it?
Yuri, good.
Yeah,
Lesbianism, domestic violence.
okay.
Spot
What
the
did you
difference.
think of the end? What did you think of the ending?
I thought it was dumb. And I think it could have
Yeah.
been done better.
So I watched the finale. Like they released 2 movies for the final arc. You know, the Battle of Heaven and Earth. And in the second movie, there's that one scene where Aaron and Armin are in the paths and they're talking about what happened at the very end, like the very very end.
The very, very end.
Yeah. So there's that scene. They changed that for the anime actually, and they made it way more explicit. Where basically Aaron says, "Yeah, all this happened because I'm an idiot and I was given godlike power, and I'm purely retarded." And it's like, well, okay, at least you admit it.
At least he admits it. Lesbianism is when mommy is hitting mummy.
I guess the moral of the story is like, what do you do when you have 2 sides that desperately want to genocide each other? Who's actually in the right? The answer just seems
Whichever
to
one
be...
genocides the other.
Well, the answer actually
Here's
seems
the
to be the
question.
opposite. Like whoever
Fire is the
loses seems
answer.
to be the morally superior one because they didn't do it. They just died.
Nope, because the winner writes the history books.
Everyone says that. I don't believe it anymore.
I believe it. I definitely believe it.
I think like historians write the history books.
Where is the
because-
Visigoth point of view?
So that's true. That's because they're a bunch of fucking illiterates, okay? Like if you look at it nowadays, like America is the world hegemon, and yet we have many anti-American histories and anti-American points of views. We have a plurality of options for where we get our history from, despite having clear victors in certain conflicts. So it does seem to be the case that historians write the history books, not necessarily victors.
We'll see about that, Dev. We'll see about it. In 1,000 years' time, we'll read the books and see what happened.
I mean, maybe so, but like you can, the Germany lost World War II, right? But there's no shortage of, stuff from the point of view of Germany that is, let's say, not ideologically cleansed to make the West look better. You can definitely find that stuff.
You
can
can
definitely
find
find
it, yeah, but you've got to dig for it.
Yeah, that's fine though. It's out there.
As I would say that Nazi Germany is not exactly making a moral resurgence lately.
I mean, there's some types of Nazism that is, but not Nazi Germany. No. Now
Yes.
it's all gay cat boys.
Gay cat boys, indeed. Have we agreed, Dev, that Yuri is wholesome and lesbianism is domestic abuse?
I think there's a lot of overlap there.
I don't know. I've never seen a
I
Yuri
think-
couple beating each other up.
You can definitely have some wholesome lesbians. Just not in America.
Just not in America. In other nations, it's possible. Just not here.
Okay, I'm gonna take off though, Arch. I'll see you tomorrow for D&D.
All right. See ya.
See you later, guys. Good night.
He's wrong, though, chat. He is. He really is. And there's no doubting it. Now, where the fuck did I put the super chat window whilst I was looking for wholesome Urianism? That's a good question. Oh, there it is. American Outline said, nice stream, Arch. The bantering is always hilarious and always enjoy with all 3 of you guys on the stream. Thank you very much. Sino says, to be honest, I managed to read 3 books of gravitation. It was kind of gay. of gravitation before we kind of... I don't know what gravitation is, but I'll take your word for it that it's actually homosexual. Antelope the Greek says, holy shit, I fell asleep while watching this and just woke up with my headphones onto your voice. Very confusing and disorienting. See, this proves V is wrong. You can fall asleep and do weird things with noises going on. Mark Same, all OG YouTube is gone. Boogie, Ask Ninja, God help. Ask Ninja, was that a thing? Lonely Girl. What is Lonely Girl? I have no idea. Well, Google gives me what I can only assume to be ads for more domestic abuse when I Google it. But yes, Boogie certainly has... See, Boogie's entire brand was built on being wholesome. And then he turned out to be a massive retarded degenerate. Which wasn't very good for his brand, as it turns out. Weird that. Dethan says, Dev, tell me about the difference between mouse and the field mouse. House mouse and field mouse. Field mice are okay because they're not in my house. That is the difference from my perspective. Antelope the Greek. Dev, do you ever plan to make a video on why libertarianism absolute free markets wouldn't, or why ANCAPs are wrong? Maybe. I'll send him that because that's a valuable point for Dev to address later on. His answer will probably be after the trucker video. And lastly, the existential nihilist says we need to import Fujoshi into the 40k fandom. Female Space Marine people wouldn't stand a chance. Yeah, but imagine the damage we will do to our hobby whilst doing this. Like, is burning the ground and salting it truly necessary? And is it economical? Is the destruction worth it? Is detonating a nuclear device in our own hobby worth it?
Service guarantees citizenship.
I don't know about that. I feel like that's one step too far. I would rather see 40k burn than it become nothing but Black Library BL novels. Immediately, incidentally, a mental image flashes into my head of the Blood Angels. You know, one big blonde Blood Angels, you know, tipping the head up of a little ultramarine, staring into his eyes seductively. The title is probably called something like, Heretical Fruit or something, referencing the Blood Angel's big, bouncing, hairy balls, of course, slapping violently against the ultramarine's asshole. Because you know the Ultramarines are the bottom in this relationship. I mean, seriously, it's not even a question. Come on. It could be very Greek, though. You could give it a little bit of a flavor. You could give the Blood Angels one of those little, like, those laurels, for example, to give a little bit of dignity to it all. You could oil him up so he's nice and lathered. And now I get a mental image of an oiled-up Blood Angel Space Marine pounding an Ultramarine from the back. The Ultramarine is blushing, incidentally, and giving one of those little puckered duck faces at the camera. No, okay, right. Then, I got it. I fucking got it. I got it. Okay. The title of the book needs to be Grapes of Wrath. Yes. Coconuts of Wrath? I don't know, see, it's a Space Marine balls. They're probably massive, like tennis balls of wrath. Angry lemons? Displeased passion fruits? Peeved passion fruits? No. Passionate peaches. The peaches of passion. Yes, the peaches of passion. There we go.
I have lost.
We could have an entire chapter of the Ultramarine, like, cupping them gently in his hands, weighing them, appreciating the weight, the texture, the heat they radiate, describing them in detail. I imagine the Blood Angel would be shaved as well. Yeah, that seems only fitting. Smooth. Sometimes my overactive imagination takes me for a little bit of a ride, and this has been one of those moments. It's fine. First blood. Yes, that's not a bad one either. First blood, yes. And then you can have you can have the blood angel be one of those saucy girlfriends that bites his lip a little bit, you know, like the old style saucy girlfriends. First blood. A slight trickle of blood running down from the ultramarine's mouth. Yeah, that would work. And then the sequel could be The Peaches of Passion. Sanguinius's... Oh, God. Third book in the series, Sanguinius's return? Sanguinius's arrival, yes. And then there's just a picture of a Blood Angel's O-face. Yes. Yes. The climactic end to the fan-favorite series. Well, there you go. If anyone has any further suggestions that we should introduce the Fujoshi to Warhammer 40k, that's my answer. So, anyone still interested? I could indeed imagine a Sister of Battle writing this. Yes, chat, I could. Just a steaming Sisters of Battle, blushing from ear to ear, gripping the pen tightly in one hand, just like, oh my god, oh... Emperor, protect my soul. It's so filthy, yet I must write. Leonidas looked down upon Uriel and whispered in his ears, coarsely yet gently, "Are you prepared, brother? Steel yourself." Okay. Just stop. Cease, chat. You're making it worse. There we go. I think I've dissuaded any notions that the Fujoshi have a home in the 40k fandom. Domino25 says, Dev, it's because commies are like a virus, that roach hybrid. They survived to write books condemning America. By surviving and infecting, they did win. It's a good point. Antelope the Greek donates $1. In appreciation, I'm presuming. And also says, what's that Dev talk in the back at random? Oh, that's the super chat sound of Dev I have lost. One of my favorite super chatters. The Reeve guy says, remember, if you get Fujoshis in the 40k fandom, they will turn all Space Marines into pretty boys, without exception. I think, wasn't there 40k pretty Marines? Wasn't there a meme of this? There is a meme of this. Okay. There we go. The pretty Marines. The pretty Marines are the Fujoshi Marines, right there.
Heresy's the question.
That's
Fire
what you're
is the
asking
answer.
for, chat. That is what you desire. Is that a higher quality version of the picture? It is. Much better. Much, much, much better. There we go.
I have lost. Shit.
Chat gets what they want. Yeah. Simple as. Chat demands. I must provide. And now I misplaced the goddamn super chat window again. Help me. I need a 4th monitor, because apparently 3 isn't enough with the amount of clutter I throw up on it. Every stream, I start with the idea that, oh, I'm going to keep that window over here. That way, I'll know that that's the window I shouldn't open a dozen retarded tabs in. It never turns out to actually be the case, but theoretically, that is the idea. There we go. No, that's where I had the lesbianism is domestic violence tabs.
I have lost. Shit.
Lucian says, Bow wit da ba a dang diggy. What? Hang on, God's good earth. Emily Kelman, hard on the guard, a commissar's duty. Oh, yeah, no, that would be great. Okay. You'd have the commissar in his storm coat and his peaked cap, okay, but oiled up, leaning back, showing up off his abs, right, with a light little tiny codpiece with an Imperial Aquila on it. Okay, hold on. Can I find a visual representation of what what I think here? Damn. There's surprisingly little gay porn on Google. Well, at least this is going to make my browsing history a lot more diverse. Gosh darn it. Like nipples rock hard, little beads of sweat running down him. Maybe no. Screw the thong with the Imperial Aquila. Have him cover his crotch with a Cadian guard helmet. Beautiful. Beautiful. Antelope the Greek says, I have lost. Good. And Zero, the title should be Thunderclap. No, that should be the Imperial Fist's gay erotic novel, okay? And the Imperial Fist should absolutely be intermingling, you know, it should be fist on fist action, you know? That one could be called Thunderclap. And then you could have the second volume, which is just called Fist, or The Fist. Maybe The Iron Fist, if you really want to get spicy about it, but definitely something with fist. And it could then just be, you know, the Imperial Fist on the cover. A big Imperial Fist right there.
I have lost.
Maybe with a drop of lube running off it if you think it's too subtle a reference, but I think that'll be enough. The Fist. But well, that Evans says thanks and good night. It was fun. Well, you're very welcome. And Ranger Steel asks, are Angry Marines still okay to like? I think so. They might be. Could be. Imperial Fist meets the guard. Penetrates guard lines? No. Too on the nose. The Fist and the Guardsman who could.
I have lost.
Yes.
Shit.
That's much better. Rogel Dorn himself has never seen such suppleness. Okay. You know what? This is enough for today. This is enough for today. We have completed our objectives of demonstrating how this was a terrible idea. Until next time, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you all again soon. Until then, I was about to repeat myself by saying have a good day, but good night. Okay, wait. Artemisi Flair says, Shoujo Ai and Yuri are a massive turn-off for me, but an apparently wholesome manga is Kashimashi, Girl Meets Girl. Those that like the stuff. Love your content, please keep up the great work. Thank you. Blaystone, Cadians Always Stand, an Imperial Guard novel. Cadia stands. Cadia remains hard? See, you gotta make it subtle enough, that's the thing. Cadia stiffens in response to a chaos incursion. That'll work. Yes, Cadia stiffens. That could be a good, decent book title. You know, have the Eye of Terror off in the distance, you know, big and mean-looking, an Imperial Guardsman, you know, hands behind his head, flexing. Cadia stiffens. Mr. Bob 7370, you seem intent on dragging this out, says that are already Futa Marines, they are just Slanesh. They are the female space marines that the leftists always wanted. They exist. They're just, you know, Slanesh. That's all. I can take off Dev's icon now too. There you go. And Antelope. Is it Antelope? No, it's Antelope, isn't it? The Greek says, we all lose in the end. That's true. When bidding Space Marines, you're all loose in the end.